Okay, lemonade, check your head.
Step forward. Up by here, second. Take a look.
Illegal.
This subject is 96 people they state are in this room. They don't match the description. They're innocent people here. I'm going to be 10-8. All that is sufficient.
That one.
Same comment, County Road 72 South Scene, 146 Charlotte.
22 Nancy. Rachel, I did attempt to call the key holder. She's unable to make it if the door's locked.
10-4. Okay, 25 clear, Riverside.
Hey, attach to a call, Stephanie Wilcox at 754 Double Jack Street. This requesting you give her a call, advising she has some information in reference to something she talked to you about a couple weeks ago.
If you haven't given me a number, officer, talk to the other half, I have a number for the text. 3493. 13493. Okay, down from Red County Road 72. Unlocked. Fish just needs assistance help.
Cap 302 is circuit.
Ain't got 45 seconds.
Hey, Narcs, I'm recording the communication between the police 24/7, and I'm casting it live onto YouTube, and we're saving it. You're going to be brought out of the woodwork for being narcs. Hey, Narcs, I'm recording. Hello, narcs of Kankakee. You are being recorded 24/7, live cast.
Change down from Antino Ambulance 72. 72 is going to be in service returning with the surrender to one-time refusal.
So, putting it out always seems to be the best idea. As opposed to hanging out and things ourselves today. So, yeah, I don't see a reason. You can always do a public accuracy test next time, but there's no reason. Public assassination. Change the name or the name. Did you say public assassination? You mean like a public hanging?
The thing speaks for itself, right?
I mean, any way you look at it, you know, even if it's not, and even if there's some sort of justification for it, I can't imagine that you're allowed to clear out this data. And this goes back to the whole point of everybody involved in this audit being affiliated with the same organization, an organization that has ties to Andrew Yang, to elections in Detroit, elections in Pennsylvania, all the crazy places, you know, Berkeley, like this whole organization had no business being involved in an audit as unbiased, and you know, for all of the black
Income 136 is on check. SRO detail.
Seven 30.
Everybody just said, hey, you know what? This is a good idea. Let's start and first
Last
Change down 530.
5:30.
I'll be for
Sure.
these computer guys that are on our side well, I'm on the side of the truth, is that's what the side we're on now. You know, so they were able to do this with impunity until now. Maryland was able to get this thing, but man,
I see a way out. As I said, you just bear with me. I've seen you, Madam. I did a whole show on your page. I saw the way the judge acted. I saw what she should, you know, how he said the Secretary of State, she should, everything she still like, whatever she said in press conference, like what the lawyer said, she said she did an audit. I saw how he looked away from I really think, guys, this is what I want you to know. I can see Matt Turner, I can see Professor David Clemens, I can see myself going on to Frankfurt, presenting the entire battleground states, all the corruption, all the obstacles, and creating a mock trial for the people. The way out for people, yes, to the people directly to influence the people. If you expose this, presenting this in a legal manner, you would put all of it together on one platter, people would see the whole thing. Otherwise, it's coming out in empty web, people don't get it. It's a lot of misinformation, but if you're out there, you have tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people watching, they will be part of this corruption. They will understand that you are presenting in a legal manner.
1901 from the same
pressure on politicians and on the court.
Go ahead, 1901.
In America will be watching. I really think that would make a huge
15, pick up any hose or anything, I can bring it out of so. I'm negative, we'll be alright. 10-4.
Well, it'll be everybody. They could interact. We can get attorneys
Can't comment,
who
so I
don't
will
believe
send
it,
it to you by recording.
who will represent the defendants, and that the election has integrity, and then you have the prosecuting attorneys, and then you present the experts and the evidence, and then people will see that. This will be an amazing show that will expose everything. That's the only way you would put everything on one platter. Would be completely undeniable.
Well, I'll push back a little bit, Susan. I think, hey, good, later.
I got that though.
Yeah. Does someone have Susan, you or someone needs their headphones on or something. I don't know if there's a.
All right now.
Okay, that's better.
I think it's Matt. Little feedback. So I click mute. Just unmute yourself if you need to.
Yeah, I guess my thought is any way that you can get the information out in a clear way, whether it's a mock
Check on 901 being
is a
service.
plus. And my frustration is like a crime's been committed and we don't know where Harry Hursty is. That bothers me. Where is that guy? Where's Philip Stark? Where's Mark Lindemann?
Right.
And so I've been asked about the mock trial idea, and I think it's if you don't have the courtroom, yeah, you can do it, and yes, we can present it, and yes, it can be glossy, and yes, there can be a shine to it, and Mike Lindell's Patriots are going to come to the same conclusion that we have already reached because most of us know that the fraud was stolen. I want a real prosecution. That's what I'm saying. I just like, for me, it's like, I get it.
Yeah, kind of fell right through.
I think right now the should be to get this to as many platforms
Highways opened up, trucks
as
removed,
we can.
shut it back.
Get refunded, whether it's Steve Bannon.
It's
and
not,
what
it's everything. It's not just one thing instead of another. It's everything.
Well,
but I want something, if we're going to devote time to something, mock trial's not going to get you someone in jail. And that's the one thing that I'll say is I gotta go again.
And it's not 9.5. Okay. Yeah, I think like even with the audits, to be honest, to me it's like telling us what we already know, but we want a legal remedy, and so we need this leverage to take it through courts. But we're also seeing at the same time our judicial system is completely corrupted. So people, and this is what worries me, is that people are getting to the point where they're saying, "All right, let us do it in the courts, or we'll do it in the streets." And it's really, I think we're really on the precipice of that reality, and it scares me. So I need to know, where do we go with what we just found? And I need to know now, because this, I mean, we got 3 attorneys. Does anybody have work in New England? Because that's the most important thing, is that they need an attorney, somebody that can take this to a judge and put
Right.
go.
And here's the thing about our attorneys is Bill Sheehy, which is James Sheehy's husband, used to be the prosecutor for the DOJ. And so now I just found this out too.
I'm also again,
Someone called me and was like, you know why you're having such a hard time getting lawyers? They're like, this Bill Sheehy.
You want to put JC, the call, stay open.
You know?
You know, Dr. Frank said he had a lawyer. Other lawyers can come in. I'm saying it, not instead of. I'm saying leave no stone unturned. You go into the courts, but there's no pressure on them. They have the media. They haven't done what's right. There's no oversight. This will be the oversight. I know that when you fight corruption, when you fight powerful people that act like this, that is the way to do it. You go into the court, you fight it on all levels, but you also make sure that it's in the public and you get as much support. And the only way to do that is the platform that we know is available, which is frank speech. And that will be the game changer. That's how we will change the course of this. And I'm not saying instead of, I'm not saying just do a mock court. I'm saying do everything. Okay, you can go into court on this, and you should, but you should also have a platform and expose it in a real way that people can really get involved, really get caring about, rooting for, and concerned with, and part of. And that needs to happen if we want to win and overcome this corruption.
I like when Convention of States did a similar thing with their Article 5 convention. They did a mock Article 5 convention so people could see what it would actually be like. And I watched the entire thing and was like, okay, that's not as scary as people are making it sound. But
Right.
I agree with that. But I think that that's kind of like a, that's like the back here view. Right now we're like right here. we gotta have something going tomorrow. We gotta have a remedy for tomorrow. Like, they can't go near those machines after we just drop this. There needs to be a protective order put on this machine. Harry can't touch it again.
Well, the AG is like very, very bad in New Hampshire. So if we don't get
The fucking military is involved, you stupid fuck.
Selected for us. So, they made sure that, the highest judge in New Hampshire court right now.
Okay, count 617 on shift investigation.
Promoted, doing nothing.
The military let the shit go down, dude. We are the army.
Not do anything for 3 months. And then he was just promoted last month. And then Chris Sununu elected his personal attorney to be our new agent.
Right. What about the state legislators? Is anybody on board? Can they step up?
We have one senator out of 24 that I don't.
Yeah, what would they do if we pulled them all out of their fucking houses?
And I talked to him yesterday, and I asked him, and I found out a bunch of other information in the citizen audit that I'm doing, and he told me that no matter what, anything I present to him doesn't matter as long as if there's a recount that doesn't tie in. And I said, how can I get a recount if I won't allow it to get a recount? And he said, well, it looks like, He just said when you can get a recount, let me know.
What's his name?
That was James Gray.
Oh, James Gray. That's one of the guys we were trying to get a hold of. Oh, so he's got no intention of doing the right thing.
He
Wow.
wants to take credit for SB 43. But like I honestly, I told him a bunch of statistics yesterday from the New Hampshire elections, and he was just like, "Well, that's not a recount. You need to show me that the recount is off from the machine count." And I said, "Here, but how can I do that? I said, you guys won't release the ballot."
Hey Nick, can you pull up the image again? Sure. And don't we know that recounts are not?
Can't count more than 36 without a vote after.
I want five pounds.
Trafficking kids.
Because here's how New Hampshire works. New Hampshire works that if you don't have a recount, the town keeps the ballot. If you have a recount, the Secretary of State comes.
I think we need a protective order over machines. Yes.
I
Right.
think the ballots are what's important here because the machines, I don't know what they did to the memory cards. I don't know if they, anything about it, but the ballots are the votes of people. And there was only a few recounts, so all those towns still have all their ballots.
So somebody in the chat pointed this out. Look at the timestamps on 38 and 39 and then 40. It goes backwards, but is that a different? It goes backwards, but is it a different day? No. Is it a different day? It's 11:03. No. It went backwards. It's 2.5 hours. Backwards. 2.5 hours. And this one, I don't know, how does that?
So military time, what were we talking about for those that didn't serve? 1604, 1608.
So 1604 is 404.
Did you see the operation go down on that
It's a
Facebook
24-hour
post?
clock instead of a 12-hour clock. So
Yes, so is this trying to take us back to a timestamp on November 3rd? Is that the significance of, because if we're getting transported to the 3rd, is there a different clock? I guess that's the question that comes to mind.
that would be something that Matt would probably be able to give. Because this is the first time I've seen a tape and actually look at it. Matt might know better if it's typically in Eastern Standard Time, if it's in Zulu time. Go ahead, Matt, if you have any input on that.
It's going to be the time that is programmed on the machine. And if it's New Hampshire, I'm going to assume it's Eastern Standard Time. And you're right, the numbers
converted?
don't make a lot of sense because the timestamps, certainly when you go back to November 3rd, you can see the early on, line 25. What is that? 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock? 9:16. So that says session start at 9:16 on November 3rd, it looks like. Or no, we can't see the date. We can't see the date above it as to when they're even starting that election. Right? And then we go down to under 25, November 3rd, they're starting a new session at 12:29. And then it doesn't close out.
Can't count 758, then really flat that cost. Matt,
And we start a new session on May 12th at 11:48. Reset at 11:49. Restart at 11:50. Clear the counters, and then we go back in time to November 3rd to a zero total report at 4:04 p.m.
What does that mean, Matt? Zero total report.
They're zeroing out the any data within the machine. So if there's ballots already in the machine, they're clearing out the And you would do that typically at the start of an election or a couple days before it. So my educated guess here, in my opinion, is they must have run ballots through the machine and then closed it out so it looks like November 3rd, 2020.
So it ran for 2 days?
So it doesn't matter how long it runs.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think the tape says that anyway. The tape says it ran for minus 2.5 hours. Because they started up at 16:04 and closed it out at 13:30.
Marilyn, do you know what machine this was?
So all of them stay the same, but this one in particular is machine number either, okay, so this is another thing that they did on purpose. So they didn't use the same numbers that Wyndham had. They didn't use the same machine numbers that Wyndham had. They switched it up from the machine IDs, which I think was purpose. But hold on. So I have a spreadsheet that I made that shows. So this is machine number 2. So this is machine number 4 in Wyndham.
All right. So, real quick, and I should have thrown this out there for the professor, Susan, and Matt. Have you guys seen the tabulations from the 4 machines in Wyndham?
No.
Nick, why don't you put that
Oh,
up?
you guys have never seen that. Okay,
Yeah.
that is,
Hold that up real quick.
ooh, that's big.
This is mind-blowing in itself.
And I don't know, Matt, you've never seen this before.
Come in, Bradley,
This would be
Central Police Extra Patrol.
good first impression here. Because we have,
Well, I never even thought about asking Matt if this is something that you guys looked into in your case. Did you guys get the tabulations by each individual machine?
Yes.
And were there any discrepancies in them?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Like this though, like you'll see in a second. Go ahead, Nick.
so first and foremost, we're calling this fold gate now. We know that the way the ballots were folded by machine caused a lot of overvotes because they were causing the machine to think the bubbles were filled in when they weren't, when the fold went through the oval. And it's weird that machine 2 has a significantly higher amount of overvotes than the rest, which adds to this really strange phenomenon here. So these are the races on the left, obviously. Let me expand that. Oops. So for instance, you have machine 1 here. It's 40-60 Biden-Trump. Same thing on machine 3 and same thing on machine 4. But machine 2 is totally almost inverse. And the weird thing is, you have these major anomalies going all the way down the ticket.
And it's in every single race, it's Democrat, Republican, inverted, except for the governor.
And he's a big rhino. He is.
Yes.
Now,
I do.
Now, keep going, Nick. I'm going to leave
Well, there's not much else.
Well, I think you want.
It's a whole other, the same exact thing.
Why did I say there's not much else?
Right.
Okay. So, sorry. So Merrimack, you have 9 machines. This is a neighboring town. Huge amounts of overvotes here on these 3 machines, and those are the same machines that are inverse all the way down the city.
No, these are more than inverse.
Okay, so yeah,
Because like you're getting like 40 to 50%, a ratio of like 40 to 55, 40 to 60, and then all of a sudden the ones that are inverse are 70 30.
And this is not the only anomaly. We're not talking about the case or like we're still just doing data entry for the case.
And once again, the only Republican that didn't flip in a negative way.
so Amherst, I have not.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't like highlighted things.
Wow, yeah, Mark's is too.
All right. So this
Yeah, I'm saying around
this
right
machine is
there.
flipping
That's all
at
over
orange.
there.
So, listen, there's a lot of because I don't want to give, like, we're having data entry help, so I don't want everything on one spreadsheet, so that's why I have one of the three spreadsheets, so that's why some of it, that's why it's not perfect. It's because we just wanted to get this information out, so just in case someone's looking and it's like, what's going on, it's just because it's not 100% all entered.
All right. So machine 4 is not entered on this one.
No,
That's
there's no machine for it. There's
Oh.
like 3 machines.
why- Okay. So that's probably why I overlooked this. But it looks like it pretty much looks like machine 1 here.
Yeah,
That's the weird one.
yeah.
Yeah, this is what I do because it makes it look more crazy.
Is this? I mean, Matt, you've been looking at. You see anything like this in Android? This is insane to me. This is absolutely insane.
So, are they going to the overvote in every race?
So I haven't, it's so much work to audit the whole entire state, so like, I don't have all the 100% answers yet, because I'm like, so I can't, but from what I am noticing, and I just don't want to be quoted on it, yeah.
So, I can tell you what we saw in our case, and I would just give you a theory. I don't know this. I'm just seeing this for the first time. But when you move votes from one candidate to another, let's say you move a vote
There you
from
go.
Trump to Biden, which may be happening here, because you're seeing these flips, right, from where the Democrat is getting more votes, right? Is that the way I'm looking at this correctly? Yeah. So let's say you move Trump's votes to Biden within a race, the governor's race, the representative race. You have to move Biden's votes somewhere else.
Yep. So can I share? Oh, crap. I can't share my screen because I'm on my cell phone. I want to show you a diagram that I have.
What if you keep feeding it from the third party to Biden?
Well, you could be doing that, but the point is there's typically what we would call a bumper between each race. Although we've seen it in some areas, you typically don't move votes out of a race up into, because everything is sequenced, everyone is numbered from 1 through, at least in Antrim County, 1 through 5,600 something. Every candidate has a number assigned to them across all the precincts. So if you have assigned Joe Biden number 1, well, it works different. In the way the ballot is set up in our races, you have a straight party ticket at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Green party at the bottom. Let's say the Green party is number 6. The Democrat party is 1. Then you go down to the president.
Number 44, 10, 41.
It's number 7 assigned. Donald Trump gets 8. If you're moving when you map out the ballot, if you move Trump's votes up to Biden
Okay, down 606.
from 8 to 7, you gotta move Biden's vote.
That's where you want to investigate.
You can't go up to the Green Party and the Green Party ticket. Because the coding has these bumpers in place that prevent that.
So I want to show you.
Take-on saying current keys, release from Papanow return quarters.
And where you're from?
All right, I'm pulling that up right now.
Okay.
I just saw your private chat. Just give me 1 second.
So if you try to move a vote, and we saw this in Antrim County, and we put out a report that showed that they were aware of this, and they actually subverted the election by allowing the election to continue. They overrode
I'm all 41.
internally and purposely, and
I'm on shift investigation.
But you still can't put Biden's votes up into the Green Party. So what you do, the only place for them to go is the overvote. That's where we found Biden votes. And then when you adjudicate those overvotes, they would look at those votes and give them all back to Biden. So Biden was getting both Donald Trump's votes and his own votes through adjudication of the overvote. That's why we were seeing votes stored in the overvote. And maybe that's what you're seeing here.
Yeah, Nick just has a new email and he's gonna pull it up in 1 minute.
It should be pulled up.
No, I sent you a new one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh. That's interesting. Let's see. Are you sure? Oh, this. Oh, this. Okay. So, I'm just going to share my email. I'm going to doc. And all these people saying I need to watch my back about the deep state. I'm not saying it. That's what all the comments were saying earlier. They're like, you guys need to get protection now.
There's fucking tunnels under that shit.
I think Matt DePerno wouldn't still be here. If it was
Yellow
that
is
serious.
CERN.
That's for sure.
Well, make no mistake, they're hardened criminals, and we should be careful. We should all be careful, but that's the way. Make no mistake about who they are.
Yeah, like Bill Bailey though. Like I got a bang bang. That's what Bill Bailey said. He pulled it out one day on the show. He was like, I got a bang bang. Get banned. Oh, that's like an instant ban. Wow, dude, you're messing with Bill Bailey. You're messing with Wild Bill. That's what you get. Okay, so this is. Do I need to zoom out some? This is kind of.
Is it blurry?
I can see it just fine, but.
Okay, so what you said is, so this is the state rep's race of why we call the audit. So the left section, machine 1, 2, 3, and 4, that's all 4 machines on November 3rd. And the first gray column, that's the total of the machines on November 3rd. So then if you go to the next column, the next white column, that's the machine number 1 in Wyndham, but machine number 3 at the audit. And so the yellow column shows all the votes that were redistributed, right? So then then if you go over to the next machine, 2.1, that's the results on May 12th as well. I mean May 14th. And then so all 4 machines, so all 10,006 ballots went through all 4 of these machines, all 4 of them gave different results. And I made the mistake and I highlighted yellow that when I released this to New Hampshire, I made the bottom row, the total row yellow because exactly what, and I think like it counted, so what I did is when it netted out, I was like,
Yeah, how much 34?
that's what they're doing. So, and like some people were like, oh, it's only out 44 votes or something.
I'll be just explaining to cover that.
Maryland, real quick. They don't need Oh, so what do I just pull everybody out?
No, there's a button all the way on the right.
Oh, got it.
It's
No, I don't. Yes, I did. Okay.
Okay, 541 investigation.
So,
Is that the whole picture?
no,
All right, so that's as good as I can do, guys. Sorry.
alright, so the yellow column, so what I originally did is I highlighted the total row, right? And as you can see, the first one is -44, the second one is 0, the third one is 8, the fourth one is 8. So what I noticed as an accountant, when that nets out like that, or pretty much nets out immaterially, that means it's like, how my mind was doing, it's like a balance sheet. It equals each other out, but it's redistributive to those, to different accounts, exactly what Matt just said. And so that's what you see here from the spreadsheet. But another important thing about the spreadsheet is 5 times 10,006 ballots were scanned in.
1,000 on one day.
Equal 1, right? Because that's what the 10,000, that was November 3rd. But then the 4 times on the audit, not one machine tied into each other, not one. And then if you look at the percentages, so the Democrat, the 3 losing Democrats, they lost exactly half of Christie St. Lawrence votes. So if you add like the 17, the 20, and the 13 from the first yellow column, that equals 50, which is about half of 100, right? And then if you look at, so that means that the Republicans, what I think it was, is 2 different algorithms. But I'm assuming, I mean, I'm not a statistician or some really fast person, but this is just what I'm looking at from, formulas, and but all 4 of them, pretty much the Democrats, the 3 losing Democrats, equal half of the only Democrat that gave votes on all 4 machines. Only one Democrat, actually only one rep candidate gave votes out of 8. Only one. It was Christie St. Laurent. And all 3 Democrats only lost like an immaterial amount compared to the 4 Republicans. And this was on May 14th. So the thing that actually this was the meme I was looking at earlier when I found that audit trail is that I wanted New Hampshire to know that out of 5 times that the ballots were scanned, not one machine matched, not even one.
That's just like Andrew County, 5 recounts, and not one single recount was the same.
And if you look at Christie St. Laurent's percentages, it's like 0.25, 0.27, 0.26, 0.22. Like it's just all like 0.25 is just, and then if you add, and then if you look at the Democrats that lost the 3, it's 0.04, 0.05, 0.03, so it's all about the same. And then same thing with the Republicans. That's why when I just knew that there was something more than dust. Because that's what Hershey tried to say what happened to these machines is dust, and that it was only a Wyndham isolated incident. And another thing I have to say about that is New Hampshire has over 200 machines, and there's no way, and all these machines are 25 years old, and they're all the same exact machine. So what Hershey's trying to say on CNN and WWR is that Wyndham is an isolated incident, which drives me insane because out of 200 exact machines, Wyndham would have the only 4 that had issues. How does that even make sense?
Kayla,
Has anyone run this past Dr. Frank and his algorithm and the census that he says that it follows a
For
certain
welfare
pattern?
check, yes. Towers, 340 North Dearborn, Liz, we apartment 303, Greg Maxwell. Calling by name, texting them saying he's not feeling well.
I think the most damaging is that audit.
Yeah. It is. It is because this is a total cover-up. Totally. And there's denying it because there's evidence. Is there an alternative narrative for why that happened? And there is. So it's totally a smoking gun. I mean, the question I have is what next? Because essentially, do we need? I guess what I'm thinking right now is
Here's how I reply. Let's
we
do
want to audit, but this is everything we need to know.
I'm curious to hear what we have 3 legal minds on here. I'm curious to hear what they have to say.
I'll give you my snapshot real quick. We need to disclose to whoever will carry it. You've got 3 providers that have broader audiences than this band of married men and women. Bannon would roll with it, Gateway Pundit would roll with it. I know that everyone here has probably has some way to get a hold of the different people, and then you have the Epic Times. But as far as
I already sent a link to Jim Moss. So,
Yeah, he's running a page here once as well. He's got history of stroke. The 58-year-old male leaving alone.
people, we need more of us to process what we're covering right now, and so we can get a wider audience, because what Susan mentioned earlier about the
welfare check, a 58-year-old male, history of stroke, has high blood pressure, 2 Midtown Tower, Brickley or Dearborn Apartment 303, for a welfare check on a 58-year-old male, history of stroke, high blood pressure, please also Ralph, 78804, response to our
or whatever the names are, to get us names so we the people can
Oh
provide
shit, Mason's talking
some
right.
mechanism to secure the actual, facilities, the machines. That is law enforcement, but you need real-time reporting at the same time, where people can conceive of an idea that their name's going to show up on a show.
Yeah, now we won't do it around the town tower.
Protect the machines. So right now,
Yeah, bring those 2 guys
we're
around.
dealing with government. The reason why I don't really care about the whole, let's get it to a judge. Next court on what real.
Yeah, we know about this guy that's right.
Blow it up.
Mason.
So we might have someone at small time. What's up, Kenny Con?
I have a line to General Flynn.
There we go.
That will probably help.
Oh my God. We forgot about this. Joe Flynn gave
Yeah,
his
I'm
phone
feeling
number at
it.
the event last week. I'll be calling him tomorrow.
All right. And I've got a line for some other folks. City Pal, I've been able to. So I mean, maybe we just share this out where we can get wisdom. But I mean, the immediate vulnerability is the facility, the machines.
Yeah, Johnny, about 72 from out there.
We've got pictures.
Okay, so you guys are not here to share the 355 commercial
that
picture.
corroborates what's going on. But to the degree that you can have quality control over the ballots and machines, that would be the second issue to have to deal with. Those are my thoughts. Hopefully that makes sense.
Who has the actual tapes other than the pictures? Does anybody have the actual receipts?
The AG.
Well, that's pretty crucial because if you go to court, you have to have not just the picture, because they won't allow it into evidence. You need the actual original document. So that's a big problem. So the AG, I would put all of the pressure, all of the news and spotlight on this AG and have the state legislators do that. And I will demand immediate
Extra call, he just needs a 21, needs to be some information on there,
right? And not
concealed carry laws.
the AG have these.
Well, because this is the AG, I don't know if people saw this video, but the AG is, just because it's unethical doesn't make it illegal. He literally said that to me.
Go ahead.
I literally have it on camera. Just because it's
Go ahead.
unethical doesn't make it illegal.
Well, West, 100 South, 100 South, 20 Roy Roberts.
Thinking process, yeah.
So I said to him, I said, I have an email dated 2/1/2020. I said that Kirsty has already been working.
Yeah, I won't do them.
Kirsty wasn't fit until like the end of April, maybe even the beginning of May, right? And so
Okay.
And I said, that's what, he said, tell me the RSA that
Number
violates.
five, 25 years ago.
I said, it's your job, we pay you to tell us what RSA violates. But, either way, it's not ethical, and it's backwards, forward, just because something is unethical doesn't make it.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. If everybody, this is a link in a chain. So if the AGs break that link in the chain, you have to put all of the onus and the pressure and the spotlight on who is holding the information and who's not addressing it. And you have to demand justice through that if you want to go public. But I also think at the same time, there should be an immediate platform to get ready to expose all this to the millions of Americans and the world who they are watching. And I think that we should organize something ASAP and start that platform. Go to Gateway Pundit, go to OAN, go everywhere, go to the War Room. But it's not enough. I've seen too many people sit on the War Room. I heard Fincham sit on the War Room talking about Thomason's order. And he was saying, we're
I'll have your heads
an
chopped
order
off for
approach. He
letting
never
this shit
told the
happen.
people that order exposed the fact that the Board of Supervisors were unlawfully holding the ballots. He never said that. Instead, he said, we're going to go to the ballots. So I heard all these talks on this platform. It doesn't get anywhere. It has to be one strong platform. Get all the people and also expose the AG and get the state legislator and the state legislator to start taking an action to demand an immediate compensation.
Stand by at the National Bank of
Receipts of everything that they're supposed to. Start using the law. Start applying the laws that we have. That's all
Yeah. Well, hey, guys, I first of all just want to say thank you for inviting me on, Nick. It's a pleasure.
X-ray 3047.
To see you, Marilyn. I'm going to start making calls right now. I think as far as action items, time's wasted. So I'm going to try to reach out to whoever I can to share the information I'll presented to the non-deep state actors for those that are concerned. And
that's all we ask.
That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to get working on it, and we'll see what we can do. But y'all take care. I think this is important enough that we really do need to start light up. Call General Flynn. Let's call up everyone we can to get a big light on it. But I'm scratching. I want to find out where I want to get an all points bulletin on Harry Hurst, see if we can stop him on the interstate right now. That's the kind of stuff I want to see. So y'all take care.
All right, bye for now, there. Thank you.
Great night. Matt, you have gone further than just about everybody in the country on this. What's your take on what this all means? What do you think about all this information, and what do you think that Maryland should be doing?
Well, first, if you reopen a machine and zero out data, you're deleting validity. You're deleting other election images on those machines, and it's supposed to be preserved under federal law for 22 months. So I'll give you that citation. You can write this down now. It's 52 USC 20701. That may be a crime by reopening that machine and deleting data.
Hey, Matt, I believe they had a right to know request as well for that specific data. They had a right to know request for that specific reason, and they still zeroed out the machine.
Yeah. So you give that to your AG who says that ethical violations are not a crime. They may be, actually. And I don't know New Hampshire law, so I don't know. But at least in Michigan, we have a common law misconduct statute that applies to elected officials. And because you're an elected official, in our business, you that comes to mind is a police officer who cheated on a exam to become a police officer, and was later elected as in a law enforcement position.
Show me your Riley West Police result.
But when you refer to the common law misconduct statute, we see that the elected official who does something, misfeasance, malfeasance, or nonfeasance, with a bad motive, that is a crime in Michigan. And so you want to figure that out in New Hampshire. I tried to look it up as we were talking here, and I see that New Hampshire has some misconduct statutes that are similar to that. They didn't specifically apply to this type of elected official. But you probably, I'm going to guess, most states have this type of statute because it's, number one, it comes down from the common law and it's codified in the statute. And the whole purpose of it is to hold elected officials accountable and to make their unethical conduct because they have
This my coffee, tell me that was, they were going to review one.
they have a trust, an inherent trust. When you elect them, they're supposed to abide by the law, do things ethically. And when they don't, that can be criminal. So your AG may be wrong when he says that unethical conduct is not illegal. It may be for an elected official. It is in Michigan.
Yeah, because they have
I put this on my Twitter the other day when I sent a criminal referral to our Attorney General against the governor in Michigan. When I referred criminal charges to the AG because of the same statute of misconduct in office.
Good.
We can get you that letter if you want.
Any recording?
Yeah, probably 23 Game of Thrones.
They're friends with the governor, so we'll see, right? We'll see, right? Keep on, but the AG charges our governor.
No, guys, there's an organizational chart in each state, and it will show you the different offices. You should pull up the organizational chart for New Hampshire. You also have a county attorney that's supposed to get involved with this fraud or problems within the election. I'm sorry I said the F word. I can't like by these rules. But bottom line is they are supposed to address this. So you can put the pressure on the county attorney. What about the inspector general? There's also a deputy attorney general under the attorney general, and he has responsibilities. You know, they all, as Matt said, when he says, you know, it's maybe unethical, but it's not illegal, it may very well be illegal because called misappropriation of funds, public trust, and, you know, you have a duty to have good faith efforts and to act in good faith for the people. So, but if you look at the organizational chart, it will show you, and that's how you know who to go after, who has the power to deal with this. But I think the county attorney, the IG, the AG, the deputy AG, and even the DA's offices, they have responsibility. The state legislators, I would hold everybody responsible according to their oath of office.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try. It's just that I just feel like New Hampshire has been inundated so long with the Shaheeds and the Sununus. Because Sununu's father was George H.W. Bush's chief of staff. Like, Papa Sununu is what we call him.
Right.
So he was, you know, senior chief of staff. He was the mayor. He's actually the one who bought the machines to New Hampshire. He was the mayor when I was born.
H.W. Bush really started the globalist movement.
We've been released by tapping on, man, return to quarters.
Unravel everything that Ronald Reagan did. So we can all look back in history and point to George H.W. Bush as that guy who started the globalist movement within the Republican Party.
Hey, Marilyn, hey, check the New Hampshire live stream. Somebody said it, the live.
There's corruption. You've been in the court. They failed you. You may do an appeal or the argument, whatever. But is any state legislator signing on with your information?
No, not yet. But we're putting pressure on them, we believe. And I think it's starting to get traction. We're starting to see people who care, and that's what's important.
ACDC has paperwork ready for record.
Standing up for their own rights. It can't just be the five of us talking. People at some point have to stand up and contact their representatives and take action. And the more they do it, the better. You know, Arizona's audit started by people contacting their representatives. So that's important. I've been saying this since December. People have to stand up for their own self. They have to get involved in local politics. They got to become delegates. They got to run for school board. They got to do all of those things. And you know, and just so you know, I've got other cases that we're almost ready to file in different counties and states. The information we got out of Antrim County is a virtual gold mine of fraud. And we see that same thing applied everywhere. So all that did was help us advance the cause to see, you know, to secure fair and free elections. That's the goal. It's interesting because we're in a weird place right now. We're in a weird spot. Like we've gone full circle back to the 1700s. When people went to the conventions,
32, Jeff.
we're talking about the Declaration of Independence.
Criminal 32, 10, former refusal fine will be in service attorney.
The Declaration, or when they started talking about the Declaration of Independence, there were people within the government, the elites, our founding fathers, many of them were elites. They believed that they were smart enough, they were educated, they had wealth, they owned land, and so the people who got to vote.
I remember who that cop was in Verbonis. It was super nice.
Educated people. And we.
I'll be clear.
They actually said in their letter, why would we give the vote?
He fucking stared me down at the stop.
He won fine refusal.
I knew he was gonna fuck with me, so I pulled up into a parking lot. He fucking pulled up into the corner side of the lot. I recorded it.
And overruled.
But it was super nice.
And Detective doing an incident follow-up, Gary Griswold, requesting a 1021, case meeting 43, in reference to a civil dispute with his landlord at 241 South Dearborn. He's not at that location right now. He's on his way back at home.
So my point being that we get to the point here where we've gone through these years where now everyone votes, right? We get involved with everyone, but now it's our elite class again telling us, the elites now, the people in Washington once again telling us who should win the elections, who's counting the votes. So I just find that historically strange that we're almost going back.
I think we were a little better off then because actually they knew about King George and they didn't want him to have control over the judges' salaries and positions. They wanted checks and balances. and they understood tyranny, and they knew that the individual vote mattered. And we can go and have, discuss that. It'd be very interesting. But I think in some ways we were better off then because they were fresh out of the gate what tyranny was. And here we've just gotten a little.
Here, ambulance pays out Howard Johnson in the parking lot for every 6 months.
Now it's like everything happens in increments, and this whole thing happens in increments. By the way, guys, and they were working with the state and local officials, all the state and local officials that we have all had problems with, and they were empowering them to deplatform people the year before the actual election. So this was an organized situation. This was Operation D. But even if the President Trump, if you don't have a corporate and nothing's operating properly, you have to go straight to the people. And the only way you get straight to the people is in an organized fashion, have them involved and participating in a mock trial at the same time as we're pursuing everything else. So that the
okay, so you want to get your mouth to Howard Johnson?
Is actually talking about it. And it's not scattered, New Hampshire, that it's New Hampshire, because if you look at Dr. Frank, it is the 2010 census, it is really organized, much more organized, and people don't want to hear scattered things, they want to see a whole presentation, and they want to be part of it. And that's the way we will win this. That's my view. I thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure meeting you all.
Thank you, Susan.
Bye, Susan. Thank you again.
Thank you for everything that you guys do. All of you. Bye.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, this was great to have the 3 experts on this.
Here, ambulance pays out for a medical alarm, 6311 North, 15,000.
You know, the tape is really, really bad. But when you pair that with the machines and all these counties having the same exact thing. Now, here's the issue that I'm having a problem with in my head is we found this in New Hampshire. And no offense, Maryland, but you guys are like 3 electoral votes.
Good.
Four electoral votes, sorry. You guys 4.
But in the parking lot,
I think this is something that's been going on across the whole country. Okay, Bobby Fighton has done a lot of research on this. Dr. Frank has done a lot of research on this. Matt, you've seen it all. This is something that we've seen. I think that we've seen across the entire country where they're able to shave the votes, out of these red counties and just.
I saw a rear text to 1050 from like midnight. They just needed 21 there for information. Their numbers on the counter.
It almost leads me to believe that we're allowed to get the big fish like Maricopa, the 4th largest county in the country, and Fulton County, the largest county in Georgia.
Hey, Greg.
They're keeping us away from the paper. I feel like the fact that we're exposing all of this in New Hampshire is going to put us behind the curve in getting to other states with this. You kind of get what I'm saying? Exposing this to New Hampshire, and we're going to give them plenty of time because, other than Michigan, Arizona, and Georgia, we don't really have much going on elsewhere. Pennsylvania, we got a possibility of an audit. Wisconsin's fighting for an audit, and Georgia's fighting for an audit. But this is a global, nationwide thing.
Yeah, don't fix up there.
We've proven that with New Hampshire. Because like I said, there are 4 electoral votes. I don't think anybody thought this race was going to come down to 4 votes, or 4 electors.
Well, strategically, we're working towards the entire New England.
It's a curse from God.
People mobilized and organized and willing to actually keep hitting them and keep hitting them and keep hitting them. You guys happen to have this weird thing with this highly skilled group of individuals, and look what you guys have uncovered as really with just normal everyday people. No nothing, all on your own.
We have a good team here, that's for sure. And you know, and you guys all helped with a lot too. Like I said, we have no media here. We don't have anything like that. And it's just, you know, us all just working really hard together and, you know, waking people up. That was my biggest goal is like, it was just like, you know, and when I say stuff, I try to be as factual as possible so that people believe me because I don't ever lie, you know, like I never ever lie. But am I wrong sometimes? Of course I'm wrong sometimes, but I try not to speak if I'm not 100% certain. So that's, I think a lot of people, we were able to like help, and I'm an independent, you know, I've never been into politics before. I was just this girl that saw that money was more protected than my vote, and I saw the Richard Freeman video in December, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, and I love my country, and when I saw that my vote might not count, that's when I was like, all right, I gotta do something. And that's, you know, so I think it helps that I've never been politically motivated before. I'm an independent, and I just want the truth, you know.
Love that comment.
White man
Yeah.
is the hair
It's going
on
away.
the
That's all I know.
face.
That's all I know. This isn't going away, and that's all that matters. Yeah, it's getting to the point here where I'm questioning. We have every single thing now that we need. You know, because not only do we have we have a cover up. This is a criminal investigation at this point.
And don't forget that the citizen audit isn't even completed yet. Like, we're not even done, and we have all this stuff. Like, you know, we still have many more tapes to finish. I mean, there's just so much more that needs to be done. And, you know, like, and that's what, you know, what I was afraid of is I was like, New Hampshire is gonna, you know, already
Cyrus's tomb.
over, where, like, New Hampshire is always gonna be corrupt. Like, I was never
Israel is
up,
his face.
Where's the light at the end of the tunnel? Because I was waiting. We raised a lot of money, and I was like, why isn't anybody fighting that money? Like, why can I still not find an attorney? You know, because I thought that was going to motivate people, and I still don't have an attorney. Like, you know, so it's been crazy. So it's had a lot of ups and downs, but I'm just glad that I hope that this is, you know, I hope this is what the people needed, because this is black and white, and this is, you know, it doesn't get much more clear.
628, that's probably.
In my opinion, anyways, and this is what I'm hoping, to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, this is definitely what you brought to us as a smoking gun for
And
sure.
another fool will be
Now there was one thing that we kind of started to hit on, and we never really completed with this. You know, the people in New England getting their calculator tapes. What do they do with them once they send them to you?
So they can either
They're like 5 minutes left.
or they can, you know, because they're
Several years, or
like Rhode Island is very small, so I don't know how many towns it has. But they can put them, they can organize them, and then once they're ready to enter and stuff, we're getting
so one, the area of 1187 West South South.
So where do
Sounds like a small house right on the phone, no history on it yet.
when we do the video, can I set that all up so I can have a designated place for them to send that?
Yep. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll have to do that another time then. But I wanted to kind of, I think we really, I want as many people as possible to watch this.
Well, Nick, I'm going to take it if you don't mind. I'm going to download it. That, you know, the beginning. I'm going to try to edit it up.
Network Ambulance 1,
You know,
19,000, 6311,
I'll do the
15,000.
same thing or a summary report, because this has to get out there. So we're on the same page. But guys, so Matt, thank you so much.
X-ray 35, I believe you can disregard the 911 only, second team is coming back out in Pembroke area.
we're going to have a burger together next week.
That's all we had for now.
This weekend. Yeah, see? Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, guys, have a good night. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely excited right now because, and there's a reason why we're late, and you'll understand in a second. Okay, Maryland's got it. Hey, Maryland. We just got off the phone with Matt DePerno to confirm what you showed us, and it is in fact a smoking gun.
Yeah.
Now, I'm telling you right now. So this whole show was supposed to be Maryland coming on and giving us a little tutorial how to get the tabulator tapes.
Tutorial?
Okay, and just an hour ago, Maryland sends me a text and shows me a total bombshell, guys. Now, the ship, I mean, the focus of the show just shifted completely to this thing you just showed me. And so, so first of all, Maryland, before we get into this, can you tell us how you came across this, or you said it was like divine intervention?
Yeah, so Arizona has been like huge, helping New Hampshire, and so someone was
I'm gonna
make,
put you back on that call. It's coming back
design.
still in that area. It's a 911 prefix
So I
and all over.
to like crop out a part of the picture,
That's right.
and I left it
That's
for my
better, I
screen
think.
because I used 2 screens,
Saying
and
90 houses.
so I've been doing the other audit all day. So and then I was on the phone, and I happened to like just start scrolling through my computer, and then all of a sudden I like noticed that picture that I sent you, and I was like, is this real life right now? Like, this can't be real life, because basically what I do for work is I'm an auditor, so I have to audit POS systems, like if like anybody's deleted anything or did anything with them, so they always
Over
have
the
an audit
area,
trail,
Hickory
right?
Circle and Ford.
So
They have black dogs,
that's
that's a
where
cul-de-sac.
it ended up being
Yeah, green color.
screen is the audit trail, and so I could see like exactly what was programmed on that machine, right? What like CanCon help me out.
Basically, the trail of what they did.
Yes, the
right.
trail, exactly. And
Yeah,
so
so-
I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
like,
no,
is this
they're
real life?
working
Like,
with
I knew, so we have on recording, and we're gonna have to find it, but we have
No problem
Percy
here,
saying
man.
that
That's what there's
he needs
box.
to,
We'll be on the front
he
shortly.
needs to set the date till November 3rd, or because something could have particular happened if the computer was set till November 3rd. So that's why he said he had to reset the machine
Well-
card in the first place.
Okay. Yeah, so we know that he cleared the machine, right? He cleared the memory cards. And wasn't Ken and Tom trying to get forensic images of that before he did that? And he basically wouldn't let them. He boxed them out, cleared them. I mean, and they had a court order, a right to know request to get forensic images. They wanted to get forensic images of the state that the memory cards were in before the auditors had a chance to get a hold of them.
Correct.
Right? So they cleared out the machines, but it gets bigger. It gets way bigger, guys. Way bigger. Go ahead, CanCon.
Maryland, do you guys have an attorney on this?
No.
Nobody has an attorney not representing you guys, but representing the people's interest in this audit.
No.
We
We've
need
been looking since February.
we need an attorney right now. We need somebody to put a restraining order on everything in Wyndham until this is explained. And we need it to be explained by somebody that's not verified voting. Because look. I mean, I just saw this when I got in my car and I called you back, Nick. And so, I mean, I just spoke with Matt. He was able to explain it to me. Still doesn't make perfect sense to me. Let me call the professor.
Okay. So, I mean, we have the completion of the audit was today, of all days that we get this news. Today was May 27th. If you guys didn't know, it's May 27th. And that was, the audit had to be completed in 45 days. Today's the deadline. So today was packing up day. The auditors are done, correct, Marilyn?
Yep.
So Harry Hursty will not touch those machines again.
He's not supposed to.
No. Man, I gotta just pull this up. Are we ready for that? Because the big crescendo of pulling this up and showing the people what we're talking about. Have we gotten to that? Have we hyped it up enough? Okay. All right, let's make them wait some more. All right, because we started the show 20 minutes late.
Sorry.
No. I mean, I just want to hype this up for another 15 minutes. All right.
I saw somebody in the chat said that the professor is on with Susan Settembrino.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, man, I would bring. I see people are saying Dave Jose, and that would be great. But this is like tomorrow morning, first thing. Somebody needs to come to the judge. Man.
Oh.
That's the most important thing. I mean, announcing is great. Like that's, but like,
we'll get a bunch of people circling up around them.
I know, but there's people that are watching this stream right now.
Do you love
deep staters?
Not. I mean, I don't know if you want to call them deep staters or whatever. But there's opposition watching this stream right now. You know, and when they know this, there's going to be action up there to try and cover this up and correct this or whatever. I don't know how they'll be able to do
They can't. We got them by the cojones. It's what's done is done, and we got the smoking gun. Okay? What can they possibly do? We have them. If anything, we need to get a hold of the machines around Wyndham so that we can get to some unmolested
Well, we don't have any
machines.
more. Don't forget, we don't have any more memory cards. They took them all. They sent all the memory cards back, so the Wyndham was the only virgin memory cards we had.
Okay, let me just show the people, guys, because there's
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on, wait 1 second.
Even I'm impatient.
I know. Hold on. I have to send you the whole entire thing.
Okay.
And
Okay,
then
guys.
you can forward it to CanCon.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even know if something wants back and forth.
I don't know. I just don't understand any negative implication of showing the people this thing because there's nothing they can do about it. I mean, we already.
There's nothing.
We
This
got
is
them.
the audit trail.
I'm not getting your emails here, Marilyn.
I just sent it to you.
I'm ready to dump this.
Dude, no, don't. This is so hard, man, because I mean, it condemns Wyndham, but there's 83 other counties in New Hampshire. How many other counties are there in New Hampshire? Like,
We do it by town, so it's 243 towns and only 137 use the machines.
this is like showing the other team your playbook. You know your playbook is damn good, but I don't know. Like,
Let's ask Matt. See if Susan and the professor will come on with us. Here, I'm going to email the professor right now.
let me back out of here for just a minute.
Jeez. Now everybody's telling me not to show it. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for today.
Oh, no, it's
No. We'll just get some counsel. That's the only thing that irks me is that.
All right, we'll get some legal counsel. You know, we had Marilyn to come on and show us how to get the tabulator tapes. That was the point of the show. While we get some legal counsel, maybe we could do things in backwards order. We were going to break this to you guys. What do you think, CanCon? Are we going to get some legal counsel?
Yes.
Okay. So while CanCon's getting legal counsel, Marilyn, let's talk about what you originally were going to come onto the show to do.
all right, hold on 1 second. I just want to email the professor real quick. See if he can come on.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I just,
I know.
I just was charging the things head first.
Me too. Super excited now. All right, I'm just going to text him real quick. Hold on.
Dude, these people are so mature.
No, like everybody's like on us for this. I mean, look, guys, we didn't do this on purpose. This just came out like right before we were supposed to go live, and it didn't dawn on me the implications that that, you know, disclosing that we know this.
Yeah.
Have on everything going on in Wyndham.
And I still don't see an implication, a reason not to, because Wyndham audit is done.
Let's talk about what we were originally going to talk about, and then I'll get advice, you know, whether or not they, you know, think it's okay.
Okay, because it's big. It's a big deal, guys. Because we already confirmed that what we think we have is what we have. We talked to Matt, and it matches up with some other stuff, and it is what it is. Okay. The problem is, again, I can see the positives to telling the people, because when you talk about getting an immediate injunction or something, a protective something over the machines surrounding in the state of New Hampshire, showing this card may be necessary to mobilize the people to make that happen.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I'm on the fence too, because I am super impulsive, and I think this is like this is like earth shatter. Like, you know, like I just can't even believe it's right there in front of my face. Like, that's why I said to you guys, am I tripping? Am I like losing my mind? Because this is literally, I don't even know if I can talk about it now without making sense, because it's so crazy. I know, Nick, don't get mad at me.
I'm not mad at you. Why would I be mad at you? We're all trying to hash this out. This is why we pushed the show off, to first understand what we just saw, and two, to get us all on the same page. Then it's like, all right, we're live, and hey, wait a second, we have second thoughts.
Okay, we just completely hijacked their stream. Don't go on their stream and say you're needed on Nick's stream right now. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I did that.
Oh, that was you. Okay.
Okay, somebody wants a hint. I'll give it to you. Hursty is a booger flicking, grease covered communist. How's that?
He did some bad things.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, look, there could be an explanation for this. I don't know what it would be. I have no idea what it would be. Let me ask you this, Nick. The live stream, when it went out, was it on that day at that time?
It's going out multiple times. It went out today for 2 hours, and it went out. When did the audit start, Marilyn?
On the 12th. And it went out on Monday night, and then it went out on Tuesday night. It's been out a few different times.
It went out on the 12th.
Yep. And then the 13th is when it went out for an hour and a half.
Is that tape in Zulu time, or is that Eastern time?
No, it's one of what the kicker is. The tape. Nick, send CanCon the forward him the message I just sent you. The kicker is, wait till you see the date on the. Wait till you see it. Wait till you see the top of the ticket.
Just because because they're like, oh, you guys are just baiting us off. No, we're not doing this on purpose. I promise you. This is kind of. Susan said, and Brina just said, send the links.
And can you also forward them that message first? The professor's email for some reason.
Oh yeah, because they're going to need to look at this.
I already said he saw that I called him, so.
Can you send him that email? Did you forward that email to him?
No.
I don't have Susan's email. I don't have David's email, but I sent them both to CanCon.
I have David's, but it's not. Oh, it's right here. I have it. I'm sending it to him right now.
Yeah, people think we're staging this.
No.
The problem is that we need somebody that specifically knows how these machines work, and if there's a way to manipulate the audit trail, the tapes essentially, so that this wouldn't show up if
he says it on camera. He says
no, you mean elsewhere?
Yeah, I'm saying elsewhere. So like if they do it to another machine or on another town or another county or something along those lines.
typically, like in POS systems, you can only delete the audit trail. You can't like edit the audit trail. Even in QuickBooks or any software I've seen, it doesn't really allow you to. It doesn't. I've never seen software being able to be edited.
We need
It's
Javon.
just so great of seeing that. It's just such a divine intervention. Like, it's just so crazy.
Talking with the professor the other day, because we were talking interview with Dr. Frank, and Dr. Frank says a lot of things about the same thing, divine intervention and all this. And I was thinking about like all the pieces that have fallen into place with all this and the circumstance.
Gail sent me Susan's email, so I'm gonna send it. Thank you, Gail.
All of these circumstances that just fall into place. It's just so divine. It's just, everybody, even Dr. Frank saying, he felt like he was made for this moment. Like he's been doing this since the 80s, predicting elections. And it's just, I don't know, the way up, they just stopped their stream. So they might be jumping in here.
Okay. But they still don't know what we're talking about. How can they give us
I just sent it to both
legal counsel on the live stream? They can't do that.
Well, I sent him the
picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I man.
All right, I just sent them both the links.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
But what if they're deep state? I've never talked to these people. I gotta ask them at the door. Are you guys deep state? No, they have to say yes if they are. That's what I heard.
This is so insane. I can't even believe this.
Woo!
I'm excited.
We need to call. Why can't we just call Matt? I mean, he already knows the situation. Can we call Matt again? Now Barbara's upset. You guys upset Barbara, the center
Sorry,
of the
Barbara. I
universe.
swear it's not purpose. This is insane, though. All right, so we'll talk a little bit until they get on here about what we're going to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's talk about that.
So, I think I just gave them the link. Okay, so basically, what we're going to talk about is how to get your machine tapes and do attendance and audit like New Hampshire is doing, because we're finding a lot of interesting things. 60% of the towns in New Hampshire have over 100% voting age population, 60% on the registered voting list. And so this is all the stuff we're finding on attendance and audit. It's actually, so basically what me and Nick were
Daniel Framel,
interviewed today
1021,
was about
must be
how to get
about
machine tapes
IRS fraud.
and how about that and how to start that. But we will definitely still do that, and we're still excited to do that. But I don't know what else to say. You're the talker, Nick. I know.
I'm not. Well, okay,
so sorry.
No, it's okay because we're all frazzled, and the guys, people will get over it. All right, it's 20 minutes of your life. Sorry, guys, but this is big. So, yeah, we totally were. We had a plan. So right now, Marilyn Todd, you're a financial auditor, correct? And you have a compelling spreadsheet put together already of about how many townships is it?
There's 200. Use the machine tapes.
Okay, so we know that the vendor, LHS, right, is the supplier for about 85% of all of New Hampshire's machines, and they use a specific one, AccuVote, right? And they also, in federal races, print the paper ballets. So this LHS, we know that this vendor, if there's a problem in Wyndham with their machines, there's probably a problem in 85% of New Hampshire, okay? So we have this audit going on, and it's a total sham. and we know it, and we can give you a million reasons why. Now, so a couple of people have decided to take this into their own hands. And Marilyn, being a financial auditor, and your team have collected tabulator tapes, meaning the big long receipt paper that you press to the tabulator and put it into an Excel sheet. And so now you can 100% New Hampshire, right?
We have, yep, we have all of them. All the ones we're elected. So there was 5 towns in our state that, actually, no, I'm not even going to talk about that because I don't want other people to use that as an excuse. But yes, we have 100% of the machine tapes.
Wow.
In New Hampshire.
So at this point, is the goal to get the machine tapes in New England?
Yeah. LHS is AJ was just actually watching the video from when they did an interview the first time with Wyndham. And basically what, and I just reheard him say that he does Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont, Connecticut, Rhode Island. So, like, pretty much all of New England.
Wow. So do you have people working on this in each of those states already, or is that what we're trying to do?
So Rhode Island, we do have a girl from Rhode Island. She set up her, her group today. I had her set that up today, and but I'm sure that the other, we can find other people easily. But yeah, we're gonna have Rhode Island.
50 Gila River.
She's actually helped us a lot.
There you go. You got Connecticut.
Yeah.
My man Nicholas D'Amato. See, Nick's are good people. I'm telling you. All right.
No,
and so how do you get? Let's say you live in one of these states that you just named. All right. Now, what do I do to get the tabulator tape from I can only get them from my town, or I can get them from anywhere.
So in New Hampshire, and we're going to have to look up the rules in other states, but in New Hampshire, there's a 91A request. It's called a right to know request. And basically, what the law states is that you don't even have to email them or anything, but that if the public information is available and not being used and not being currently viewed, that they have to give it to you right then and there. So basically what everybody did is they recorded those machine tapes. And, we had a bunch of, how Liz Harris has canvassers? Well, we were calling them drivers. So there was a bunch of people in New Hampshire that, would go, drive and get the machine tapes, or the people that lived in those towns would go get the machine tapes.
Okay, so you can put a right to know request into New Hampshire. And where exactly do you put that?
To the town clerk.
The town clerk,
yep.
Which is easily accessible through Google, I'm sure.
Yep.
But wait, how exactly do you get a right to know request?
So in New Hampshire, and I'll look them up by state by the time we have that meeting. See, I'm glad we're doing this first because I can look them up by state. But so in New Hampshire, all you have to do is say, hey, this is a right to know request. I want this information, and they have to give it to you.
It's that simple.
It's literally that simple.
I'm gonna do it down here.
And they were like, here you go.
You got that?
And you got your counties?
Well, it was like a file. I don't know. It's like I didn't know what to do with it, so I just wanted to test this out. I was like, all right, let me try this. And they sent me a file, and my phone wouldn't let me open it, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, so it's super easy. Some of them are going to be like whatever about it. Like some of them we had like issues with, and then I had to fill the auditor Maryland card and be like, you're not allowed to withhold this information from me. This is public information, blah, blah, blah. But some of them were really nice. But one of the best thing about doing that is that New Hampshire was able to see who works for them. Because we had so many issues, a little bit of getting the machine tapes, that many residents woke up and was like, wait, why is getting this public information so hard? What is the big deal? Professor!
Hey.
Hi, Professor.
How y'all doing?
I'm sorry for kicking you off your show, but did you see what I sent you?
No. Brian or KCON gave me a quick snapshot, and it's obviously urgent. And we weren't talking about anything special. We were just talking about me. So let's let's get to what's
Came from
important.
Robert Fall is in Rocky River. so-
Well, it's nice to meet you, Professor. I've never actually formally met you.
Hey, Nick, big fan.
Hey, wow, I've just actually got turned on to you from the other guys, and I'm like, oh, this guy's awesome.
He's the most humble lawyer you'll ever meet in your entire life.
Oh, you jinx me when you say that.
That's
So,
how humble. I want my daughter. She's gonna be such a good little lawyer when she grows up, and I want her to be like, because there's not many they don't make them like you anymore. I can promise you that. I can't even find a lawyer to save my life.
You're making me blush. Stop.
you're so amazing. You're so
You
awesome.
are me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're. So it's kind of weird. It's the vibe in here is weird because we have this groundbreaking stuff, and we're not sure if there's negative. I mean, we were so quick to want to break this to the people, but then we started to think to ourselves, there could be negative ramifications to this if we give the enemy what we just found, which is a total smoking gun bombshell. It could tip them off to then take action against us from the other side.
Okay, come on, sorry.
So everybody's really sick to their stomach. Look at Debbie; it's like we want to break this, but we are hesitating. So now we're stuck in this purgatory.
So are we live right now?
Yes, totally.
Okay, so have you just been hovering around the unspoken issue, or I mean?
Yeah, for about 27 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. And do you want absolution for me to say?
With see, what was your CanCon? Maybe you could give us your thoughts on why we're so hesitant right now.
Well, so this is going to be pretty damning going forward with any audits or anything that happens. So I feel like given the other stuff that you've been able to find in New Hampshire with Merrimack County and some of the other counties with the machine discrepancies, I feel like this has potential to influence those counties if we do happen to get an audit or something like that. And the next time they do it, I just feel like they might be more careful about it somehow. I don't know. I just don't know if the machines, if you can do something like this without leaving an audit trail. Because remember, Harry Hursty himself is the one that said, I can manipulate these machines and no one will ever know. Clearly that's not true because we're not computer science people and you guys figured it out. So,
and I don't even know the professor that well, and Susan, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
But I have to ask, because we sent this to you guys, are you guys deep state? Yeah, because I heard if you ask them, they have to say yes. It's like the FBI, you have to tell us.
The movie Deliverance. Scream like a kid.
You wouldn't believe me anyway.
Right.
Oh, no. I don't like that either.
Because my show where I sit with you and one of you has action as sport to date, and I'm certainly the unchecked power guy. This is blood, sweat, and tears, baby. I ain't no deep state. No way. Yeah.
let's just do it. Let's just do it, man.
Yeah, dude, let's do it. Because you know what? Because the people, listen, the people are to the point
I'm freaking
where
out.
I believe that the people will be the ones to save the day, man. I mean,
That's right. We people, that's what it's about.
so we have to give them the ammunition.
Can you give me that address
All right.
one more time? We had a
So,
lot of echo.
Now, I hope this meets your expectations at this point. Jeez, man, holy cow.
Straight since I've seen it, so I don't know how anybody else is not gonna like freak out because I've been freaking out ever since and when I tell you it was divine intervention, it was literally divine intervention because, you know, just because of my background, that I had these tapes exactly like, so I had to like crop a little bit out of the tapes, not from the originals, but like from the, just for me. So I left the tapes up on my computer And a few hours later, I was like on the phone and I was going through, like, it was just like a habit to like scroll, like whatever, you know. And then I ended up seeing my, like, I don't know, I'm sorry that I'm like stumbling over my words, but it just was like so crazy that a few hours later, my computer just so happened to be like, because I have used 2 monitors, so it just so happened to be stuck on that spot. And I just ended up looking up in my background because usually what we do is we, like POS systems, we'll have to like look at the audit trail for POS systems. So that's how I was able to see and know what I was looking at. So it was just like,
bam, there it is. Okay. All right. So that's it, guys. That's what we're talking about here. Now,
zoom out a little bit. Zoom out a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Read them and weep, commie scum. That's it. Okay, now you guys get it, right?
Memory. Oh, man.
Yeah, look.
Man. So basically what this is, here, let me go to the lines, because I do better when I go to, like, each line item. So anything you do with a computer that has, like, firmware or software, it has, like, audit, like, you can, it has, like, an audit report with it, right? So basically what this, is, there's these audit report from May 12th,
We get that address
right?
one more time.
And
River.
that's right here. All right, so if you go to line number
Can't come into 4.
Inventory.
like 33.
Responsible, can you get a call back?
30. Sorry, hold on. I don't have that picture because I actually have my computer.
Well, why did I need to zoom out? Because we're looking at this.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to show you that it was 5/12 and that the previous dates were 11/3.
Okay. Yep. Oh, I got it. Sorry. So if you look, so it's a session. So line 30, right? The session start date, and that's 5/12/21. And then he puts it into scissor mode. He reset the memory card, and then he started a session start, right? And then he did prep for election. 36 is clear counters. So that means, so right there, that's the first thing that dropped out at me, is because he told me not to fix the counters, memory card. So that's what made this jump out at me, because I was like, wait,
We are
there
calling
was
for
a
the
clear
receipts.
counter button the whole time. You didn't have to delete the memory card, right? But then when you keep looking, and this is the kicker, is that we have him on camera saying that the computer needs to be registered for November 3rd in order, just in case, like, there was, like, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with Excel, but you can do, like, if this, then do this, you know? So it's, like, kind of like the same with computer programming. So basically, so that's why he said he had to reset it. So, but then before he prints the report, he changes the date to 11.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at.
Which would have cleared all the algorithms if it said if November 3rd.
Yes. Yes, a session start in 3, and then and that's what I think is very telling, is 5/12 to 11/3 and all the clearing of it.
So you want to hear the kicker on the top of this tape? And I sent you guys this in the email. At the top of this tape, it literally says November 3rd.
And I'm just going to tell you guys.
Machines, right, can do that according to Matt DePerno and his experts. That's exactly what these machines can do.
Yep.
So what he did, in real simple terms, is someone went in, reopened the election, and then closed it and backdated it. And what this proves, I mean, theoretically, is ballot stuffing. Meaning they can run through ballots after and close it out, then backdate it. It's real simple.
And then, Professor, don't forget about the video that we showed on 13.
Can I say the F word?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, 5-letter F word, and everybody knows what that means.
So this is where that video ties right in.
So this was the day before, because you were mentioning a blackout of a security feed, and then you had the aide to the attorney general. Right, I remember all of that, and you were just on it from day one. I remember getting your email, like just so upset with what was going on, and it looked like just a terrible audit from the get-go, with everyone just throwing ballots everywhere. And then we have this. So we have to. I got to get a hold of Mr. Bannon on the war room. We got to get you back on like pronto. This is huge.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I really don't know what. The timing of Phil Stark leaving seems oddly coincidental with us having this proof. Does anyone know where he's at? Has he gone on a turnpike, and is he in hiding right now?
No, I have no idea, but I'm sure Kirsty is.
He's on the Lolita Express on his way to Epstein.
You know, and a lot of times they're very sloppy. So someone who does this is just another link in the chain. And this is how they get caught. They never think you're going to look this deeply. Get far.
Stupid. That's the first thing I said.
They're very brazen.
As I sent it to Nick, I was like, and CanCon, I was like, am I tripping? Like, this can't be this far, because this is earth shattering.
Marilyn, how did you get this? How did you get this? Let's start there.
So me and AJ were at the audit. We were at the audit the day that these were printed. So we took the pictures.
And was Harry Hursty present, or did he not take off?
Nobody was there. So this came out on Friday.
To the owners of the corrections,
This
they
was
need to
printed
make
on
copies
Friday.
clear.
My
Man.
God.
So it's a real step-by-step thing that we now have a huge piece to the puzzle that was missing, and now it all makes sense.
No way mess with me.
All right, so here's one thing that we can rule out. This wasn't done under the cloak of darkness, because this machine is obviously in military time, based on the lines below 38 where it's 1604. So it is actually 11:50 a.m. So he did do this in the presence of everybody. It wasn't done at night. Now, the only question I do have is it Zulu time? And if it's time, I think the East Coast is 5 hours behind on Zulu time, but I would imagine that it's Eastern Standard Time. So it was done. I'm going to say it was done at 11:50, 11:49 on Eastern Time on that day. So I don't think it's not like it was the AG coming in or something like that, doing it in the middle of the night or anything like that. So I think
He did it literally right in front of our faces, and
That's the way they do it. They don't have this. That's the way they do it right in front of your face, thinking you don't know what's going on. They're very brazen.
I think the ballots the viewer was switched in the middle of the night for sure, because they had to tie in, right? But I don't think the machines were, touched in the middle of the night. I think it's because they had to tie in the ballots, and that's what I kept thinking to myself, how did they do that? How did they do that? And then, by some weird thing, I had this video from, 13 years ago from the Secretary of State, doing what he did with our ballots. Susan, are you familiar with what happened with the Secretary of State 13 years ago?
No.
So he literally looked like a deer in headlights. Professor, I do a horrible job at articulating myself.
I know. The series of questions was someone was there asking why they were taking ballots out of the vault. There's a security key which will identify the person who's opening it, so you'll have an idea of who's going in and out. And Secretary of State, it's Gardner, right? Bill Gardner?
Yep.
The answer was, well, they were all taken to a different room that did not have the vault. I don't think that it was locked. They put sticky tape over the door, and that was supposed to prevent anyone from tampering. And they initialed the tape with the idea that if anyone opens the door, it would rip. The problem is, number one, she asked a very precise question. Why are you taking it out of the vault? That's our procedure. And Mr. Gardner kept saying over and over again, it's safe and secure here. I've answered your question, it's safe and secure here. So he never answered the question. And the person on the video actually mentions, like, what do you mean it's safe and secure? The janitor just opened the door and came in. Like, anyone can get these ballots. And then at the very end, you find out that the stick peel tape that's supposed to tear if you open it comes right off. It doesn't tear. You can actually just grab it off the door. It was almost comical how inept or guilty. A lot of people kind of joke, like the poor lady that was asking questions. It's like they're looking at her like they're sizing her up for a body bag, asking these very, very direct questions, like, why is this not in the vault? It was Jedi mind tricks.
Should we play it? Nick, do you want?
Can I just ask you? Can I just see the other? What are the other receipts, and how is it related to that exactly?
After I saw that, I literally have his thought straight, so I haven't even looked. The other ones are changed too.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Is that one going on?
Hey,
All
Marilyn.
4 of them.
Marilyn, let me ask you a question. Last night when I was on the Hizzy show with Lisa, she had said there was something that Harry Hursty was doing with the machines, that he was inputting some data into each machine individually, and when he got to one of the machines, he inputted the data, and she said he looked visibly upset and agitated with that machine, and she had said something about like FF, and I asked, was it the hash code? And, a light bulb went off in her head, and I think she said, I think that's actually what it was. Have you guys confirmed yet via the live stream feed of him doing it? Did you put the hash codes into those machines and get one of them that came back with a faulty code?
Very minor damage.
I only went to the audit 2 days because I'm super mouthy, and I knew what these guys were doing was unethical, and I just, I went on the important days, but we had our team there, like the New Hampshire Voter Integrity and the Government Integrity Project. So we both had teams there, so I didn't get the answer to that yet, but.
We have a resident expert coming in.
Awesome. I think it's important to show that video of the Secretary of State on here too. I'm gonna see.
Well, I posted it today, actually.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So most everybody's seen that.
Okay.
But yeah, it just goes to show you how far back this goes. And by the way, the person who just said that about the hand recount, what this is.
Sorry.
Oh, what Matt DePerno and his team has shown tells us, guys, is that hand recounts can be manipulated.
Yes.
I mean, they mean nothing, because we know that how this works.
And even the canvassing, because when they print out a fraudulent, when they print out a receipt that is not accurate, then what they do is they use that false receipt to the canvassing. That's what they do.
That's exactly what happened. I swear,
Yeah.
I could put my life on it. That's how confident I am now, period. At first, when I first started asking about recounts, I had a lot of backlash because, as an auditor, it drives me crazy that money is more safeguarded than our votes. And that's what really frustrates me. Because I see all these rules around money, but I don't see. And then because I'm brand new into politics, I just started knowing a lot in February, when I started diving sorry, I'm just so excited about this that I'm losing my thought right now. So anyways,
half hour ago.
So when I first started, I just was thinking that I thought it was weird that the Secretary of State would have 2 guys randomly come pick up your boxes of ballots, because I was like, how does that leave anybody accountable? Like, but everybody, because the way I think to myself is it's much more easier for 200 for someone to be ethical as opposed to one person at the Secretary of State. How are you really going to verify all those ballots, like that they're the originals, right? So it never made sense to me. And then I randomly got a video one day of the Secretary of State, and this was like a month or two, actually 2 months after I was already like, how did we just release our ballots to the Secretary of State? Like, just 2 random guys come in, pick up your ballots, they drive, like, how does that even make any sense? And then I got that video that we were just talking about, and I was like, there is my, and then I saw this, and I was like, and then the fact that the cameras went out for an hour and a half, like,
So what do you, so you're saying that the other receipts were also the same, they were also changed?
11.5, yep.
Right.
Nick, keep an eye on the backstage.
Oh, I've got full screen.
They literally, I literally thought I was envisioning seeing things, because I'm like, is this real life? Like, and one of what it is they literally didn't think anybody knew what that information meant. Like, no one would really know that that was the audit trail unless you're used to working with like POS systems. Like, because I have to find, like, part of it is like I have to find if anything was manipulated in the POS system, right? So that's what we do in like audit. So that's why they're not used to people seeing that. Not a lot of people are accountants. So I literally thought we were like,
Now, Marilyn and Professor David Clements have my idea. I like it because I really do think it's such an out there for decades that there is only one way to deal with what we're dealing with, which is if we can go on a platform like Frank's Speech and have a mock trial and present everything in accordance with the laws and the evidence and show the obstacles and the players and present it to
Additional call in reference to a mental transport. The 1017 like a callback for some information. Sure. Information's on the counter.
In the Senate, what they did when they tried to impeach President Trump, and they made a due process. They didn't follow any of the laws. They presented false evidence. We will show all the truth. What? Oh,
The man is here.
wow, the man is here.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, hello.
hello.
Right. All right, so Nick, pull that picture back up again. This is an explanation from somebody that I'm sure has looked at these tapes for, can give a little bit more insight.
Than Larry Collar and Route 50 in South
What do
Holland,
you
Route
think?
50. The rotary incident, subject in a black
Yeah, so I'm
Mitsubishi
seeing this for the
It got out
first
of the
time here,
vehicle
but from
and
what I
approached the
understand is
caller
that there was,
and then
this
off
shows
cell
that
phone.
on
The 1028 of
5/12/21,
Lincoln, 289-802, Lincoln 289-802.
basically the data was cleared out. They,
You're muted, Matt.
sorry,
There we go.
is that better?
Yep.
All right, so this shows that,
That vehicle returned to a Raymond Erickson
looks like an
on
election was
on
reopened on
Black
5/12/21.
Mitsubishi utility.
The data was cleared out and they closed the election on November 3rd, 2020. Which is consistent with some of the work we did. We were able to do this on some machine. Election sometime after the election day, put ballots in the machine again, and close out the election at any date we want in the past. And we did that as an example to show how ballot stuff works, or how you could cover your tracks with ballot stuff. You can't discover what happened through any type of hand recount. You have to look at the paper ballots in order to verify the tapes match with the paper ballots. Otherwise, it's an easy way to cheat the Board of Canvassers.
Now, Matt, is there any reason, and I'm going to play the devil's advocate here, please don't bite my head off, guys. Is there any logic to them reverting back to 11.3 in order to run sample ballots through if they had to, say, do like a logic and accuracy test for their audit? Would they have to go back to 11.3 or can they do that at any time?
No, they could do that at any time. They don't have to revert the date back to them. Not at all. But what we see is that within the machines, you can easily manipulate the date just on the punch pad on the tablet. That's not. I mean, in hindsight now, once we did it, we realized that it's easy to do, and that there's only, in my opinion, one reason to be able to do this, and that is to manipulate the vote and manipulate the Board of Canvassers. There seems to be no other logical reason or programming reason to do it.
Right. Not that I want this to happen, but I'm excited that like New Hampshire is going to know the truth and I've been waiting for this moment.
So my question is this, and this is partly why we, seek legal counsel here, is because the real question is, what do we do with this? What is next? And Matt, we really hesitated to put this out to the public because of, is there any ramification to this that we should be aware of? And what should we do next?
Well, I would say to you that if you have this, you already know you have it. Hiding it doesn't help you or do anything like that. So putting it out always seems to be the best idea, as opposed to hanging on to things for some future date. So, yeah, I don't see a reason. You can always do a public accuracy test at any time you want. There's no reason to change the date or revert the date back to 11.3.
Vehicle from Brandon House calling again, inquiring if you can give her a call back.
Okay.
Right.
Wow. Okay, so
How about when it's the Loquitur, guys? The thing speaks for itself, right?
I mean, any way you look at it, even if it's not even if there's some sort of justification for it, I can't imagine that they're allowed to clear out this data. And this goes back to the whole point of everybody involved in this audit being affiliated with the same organization, an organization that has ties to Andrew Yang, to from the elections in Detroit, elections in Pennsylvania, all the crazy places, Berkeley. Like this whole organization had no business being involved in an audit as unbiased. And, for all the flack they're getting with cyber ninjas out in Arizona for being biased, because here you have people that have been institutionalized in these organizations, and everybody just said, hey, you know what, a really good idea. Let's get Lindemann, Stark, and Hursty, all three of whom have been, it's just insane. And nobody is there to oversee this, because I guarantee you when this audit was going on, nobody was looking over their shoulder that had a mind like Bill Waldron or Jovan Pulitzer or any of these computer guys that are on our side. It's well, I don't want to say on our side, on the side of the truth, and that's what the side we're on is. So they were able to do this with impunity until now. Man.
I see a way out. As I said, if you just bear with me, I've seen you, Matt. I did a whole show on your case. I saw the way the judge acted. I saw what he, how he said the Secretary of State, she should, everything should go by whatever she said in a press conference, despite what her lawyer said. If she said she did an audit, it's an audit. I saw how he moved away from all the corruption. So my,
Brooke, is there a
I really
1719
think, guys,
extra
take it for what you
vehicle
want, but I
release?
want you to know, I could see Matt DePerno, I could see Professor David Clemens, I can see myself going on to Frank's speech, presenting the entire battleground states, all the corruption, all the obstacles, and creating a mock trial for the people. So the way out of corruption is to get to the people directly, to influence the people. If you expose this, presenting this in a legal manner, you would put all of it together on one platter. People would see the whole thing. Otherwise, it's coming out in dribs and drabs. People don't get it. There's a lot of misinformation. But if you're out there and you have tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people watching, they will be part of this corruption. They will understand it. You will present it in a legal manner. They could vote on it as the jury. Then it would put pressure on the politicians and on the courts because the whole world and America will be watching. I really think that would make a huge
Comments, you know, you're doing substitutes, I mean,
And what
Roger
might make it even more interesting is having people that, like, don't believe in it be the jury, you know?
Well, it'll be everybody. They can interact.
But I'm saying, like, right there, you have, like, a real jury right there that, like, believe, that are ethical, right, but that just don't believe because the news has been misleading them. Like, right there to see if they're, you know.
We can get attorneys who don't believe it.
Yeah.
Who will represent the defendants, and that the election had integrity, and then you have the prosecuting attorneys, and then you present the experts and the evidence, and then people will see that. This will be an amazing show that will expose everything. That's the only way you win, with total, like you said, show the receipt. Don't keep anything hidden. Don't wait. Put it out there. But this one would put everything on one platter. It would be completely undeniable.
Well, no, I'll push back a little bit, Susan. I think any opportunity, gotta later.
I got that though.
Yeah. Does someone have Susan? Do you, or someone needs their headphones on or something? I don't know if there's a.
All right now.
Okay, that's better.
I think it's Matt. A little feedback. So I click mute. Just unmute yourself if you need to.
Yeah, I guess my thought is any way that you can get the information out in a clear way, whether it's a mock trial, is a plus. And my frustration is, like, a crime's been committed and we don't know where Harry Hursti is. That bothers me. Where is that guy? Where's Philip Stark? Where's Mark Lindemann?
Right.
And so I've been asked about the mock trial idea, and I think it's, if you don't have the courtroom, yeah, you can do it, and yes, we can present it, and yes, it can be glossy, and yes, there could be a shine to it, and Mike Lindell's Patriots are going to come to the same conclusion that we have already reached, because most of us know that the fraud was stolen. I want a real prosecution. That's what I'm saying. I just, like, for me, it's like, I get it, but I think right now the rush should be to get this to as many platforms as we can, whether it's the Gateway Pundit, whether it's Steve Bannon.
It's everything. It's not just one thing instead of it's everything.
Well, but I want something. If we're going to devote time to something.
And that's also in smart. Ladies and gentlemen, this short video will be a summary report from the 2-hour lecture. Professor Clemens, Susan Settembrino, and Matt DePerno. Now, if you want to watch the full show, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. But I know a lot of you guys don't have the time, and it's very important that this information gets out to as wide an audience as possible fast, because the explosive evidence that you're about to see in this video requires action immediately. And if you thought we had probable cause to get a statewide audit in New Hampshire before, wait till you guys get a load of this. So Marilyn Todd was supposed to come on my show last night and give me and Ken Con a tutorial as to how to get the tabulator tapes from our county clerk's office. And the reason we were going to do this is because Marilyn Todd is a financial auditor who's already collected all the tapes for the state of New Hampshire and is now in the process of putting together what we're calling a citizens audit. So this effort is extremely important, and we need to get a grassroots going in all of the states throughout New England because you all have the same supplier of your machine, which is LHS. But guys, last night the tutorial video completely fell to the wayside because just 1 hour before the show, Marilyn Todd sent me an image that absolutely floored me. In fact, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I called her immediately. But she was so frazzled, she couldn't even speak. So I called CanCon, and then he called Matt DePerno. And the reason he called Matt DePerno is because he knew Matt has seen this type of thing before in Michigan. So he wanted to hear from an expert if what we were looking at was in fact legit. And guys, we had confirmation. It was exactly what we thought it was. Boom. Ladies, what you're looking at right now is undeniable, irrefutable, earth-shattering corruption of the highest caliber. This is the audit trail of one of the machines, and this audit trail tells us exactly what was programmed by the auditors with timestamps, item by item. And I want you guys to take screenshots so that you guys can analyze this for yourself. So item 27, session start at 11:46, and this was on 5/12, which would be Wednesday, the day after the audit started. If you look at item 29, the incorrect PIN was entered. Then on item 30, session was successfully started. And I believe what we're seeing on item 31 and 32 is confirmation that we have admin level access into the machine. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it is. Now, item 33, memory card reset. Clear off of the memory card, which gets rid of all of the images and other data, which according to federal law is supposed to be preserved for 22 months. That's 52-20701. And that's also in spite of the fact that Ken Eyring filed a right to know request. So they were supposed to take forensic images of the state of the memory cards before they were cleared, and they were not allowed to do this. Now, let's jump down to item 37, which is session start on 11/3, which tells us that the November 3rd election was actually reopened. Then on item 39, ballot count start, item 42, ballot count end, then the totals report, and then session on 11/5. Okay, so what we just saw may still be a little confusing, but what we just looked at was proof that the November 3rd election was reopened, and who knows what happened, and then it was closed and backdated. According to Matt DePerno, the only logical reason that anyone would reopen the election is for ballet stuffing. And we know for a fact, because it was discovered in Antrim County, Michigan's lawsuit, that there's a fatal flaw within the source code of the machines, which allows the election to be reopened, and then you can run stuff through, and then you can close it and backdate it so that everything matches up. And if you think about it, anybody can do this at like 4 in the morning, middle of the night, and then they backdate it, everything matches up, so that even a hand recount won't tell you the truth. Hand recounts are a total joke, knowing this piece of. The only thing that could possibly tell you the truth is a kinematic scan of the actual paper, which is why I'm compelling all of you people in New Hampshire and around the country, get this message out to as many people as you possibly can. And then you have to compel your legislature to conduct a statewide audit now. And you should get a protective order over all of the machines before anybody has a chance to tamper with them. And let's remember, because we've talked about this in multiple videos now, it's easy to get a legislature has the power to issue subpoenas just like Arizona. You need the judiciary chair to write a written report, and then that gets signed by the Senate president, and they're legal and enforceable. Or you get the election law committee to introduce the subpoenas, they vote on it, then it goes to the Senate for a vote, then the Senate president signs it, and then they're legal. But the quickest one is the judiciary chair. But here's the thing, Marilyn Todd told us already that the judiciary chair has absolutely no intention of doing this, which is why I think we need to give him a couple more phone calls, send him some more emails, and some more certified mail, given this new information. So I'll put all of his contact information in the description of this video, as well as the Senate president and the election law committee chair. Now, guys, it's so important that we get this message out there to all of the people of New Hampshire and get a restraining order on all of the election material now. And it's also important that we start piecing this together using all the information that we have combined with the live stream footage from the Wyndham, New Hampshire audit, and we start looking at things and seeing how we can match this up to what we just saw, which is why I'm calling on you guys to help out. Let's crack this case together. Let's put pressure on the legislature, and let's show these people that we are not going to tolerate this corruption. Now, with all that being said, guys, I'm definitely going to follow up with this situation as soon as I get more information. So click subscribe to this channel, leave a like, leave a comment down below, share this with everybody that you possibly can, especially if they live in New Hampshire. But anyways, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, this short video will be a summary report from the 2-hour live stream from last night with CanCon, Marilyn Todd, Professor Clements, Susan Settembrino, and Matt DePerno. Now, if you want to watch the full show, I'll leave a link in the description of this video, but I know a lot of you guys don't have the time, and it's very important that this information gets out to as wide an audience as possible fast, because the explosive evidence that you're about to see in this video requires action immediately. And if you thought we had probable cause to get a statewide audit in New Hampshire before, wait till you guys get a load of this. So Marilyn Todd was supposed to come on my show last night and give me and CanCon a tutorial as to how to get the tabulator tapes from our county clerk's office. And the reason we were going to do this is because Marilyn Todd is a financial auditor who's already collected all the tapes for the state of New Hampshire and is now in the process of putting together what we're calling a citizens audit. So this effort is extremely important, and we need to get a grassroots going in all of the states throughout New England because you all have the same supplier of your machines, which is LHS. But guys, last night the tutorial video completely fell to the wayside because just 1 hour before the show, Marilyn actually poured me. In fact, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I called her immediately. But she was so frazzled, she couldn't even speak. And then he called Matt DePerno. And the reason he called Matt DePerno is because he knew Matt has seen this type of thing before in Michigan. So he wanted to hear from an expert if what we were looking at was in fact legit. And guys, we had confirmation. It was exactly what we thought it was. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at right now is undeniable, irrefutable, earth-shattering corruption of the highest caliber. This is the audit trail of one of the machines, and this audit trail tells us exactly what was programmed by the auditor with timestamp. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here and look at this item by item. I want you guys to take screenshots of this and analyze this for yourself. So item 27, session will start at 11:46, and this was on 5/12, which would be Wednesday, the day after the audit started. And if you look at item 29,
Hey, dude, when you had your gang stop, you were fucking with my truck. The truck wasn't in my name. The truck wasn't in my name.
CanCon 402
That's a big mistake. When they line the dates up and see that the title wasn't in my name, and you're putting tickets in my name and not the company's name, you're going to be screwed.
why I'm compelling all of you people in New Hampshire and around the country to get this message out to as many people as you possibly can. And then you have to compel your legislators
How to trap a gang stalker in court.
You should get a protective order over all the machines before anybody has a chance to tamper with them. And let's remember, because we talk
And
about
introduce election fraud integrity.
Okay, 13, man. Hello, Blackout, 362 North Illinois, 362 North Illinois. Selena Martinez calling from Dodge Journey.
Now, guys, it's so important that we get this message out there to all of the people of New Hampshire and get a restraining order on all the electrical drill now. And it's also important that we start piecing this together using all the information that we have combined with the live stream footage from the week of New Hampshire audit.
Here we go. Battery between and a spreadsheet.
Diabetic, unresponsive, one is the 165 West Merton, unit 105 for diabetic and unresponsive, kind of page 948,
Brett was unit 12-2 tire track by low.
If what we were looking at was in fact legit, and guys,
Can
we
be Broadway
had confirmation, it was exactly what we thought it was. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at right now is undeniable, irrefutable, earth-shattering corruption of the highest caliber. This is the audit trail of one of the machines, and this audit trail tells us exactly what was programmed by the auditors with timestamps. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here and look at this item by item, and I want you guys to take screenshots so that you guys can analyze this for yourself. So item 27, session start at 11:40, which would be Wednesday, the day after the audit started. And if you look at item enter, then on item 30, session was successfully started. And I believe what we're seeing on item 31 and 32 is confirmation that we have admin level access into the machine. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it is. Now, item 33, memory card reset, which means that all of the data was cleared off of the memory card, which gets rid of all of the images and other data, which according to federal law is supposed to be preserved for 22 months. That's 52 USC 20701. And that's also in spite of the fact that Ken Eyring filed a right to know request. So they were supposed to take forensic images of the state of the memory cards before they were cleared, and they were not allowed to do this. Now, let's jump down to item 37, which is session start on 11/3, which tells us that the November 3rd election was actually reopened. Then on item 39, ballot count start. Item 42, ballot count end. Then the totals report. And then session start on 11/5. Okay, so what we just saw may still be a little confusing, but what we just looked at was proof that the November 3rd election was reopened, and who knows what happened, and then it was closed and backdated. According to Matt DePerno, the only logical reason that anyone would reopen the election is for ballet stuffing. And we know for a fact, because it was discovered in Antrim County, Michigan's lawsuit, that there's a fatal flaw within the source code of the machines, which allows the election to be reopened, and then you can run stuff through, and then you can close it and backdate it so that everything matches up. And if you think about it, anybody can do this at like 4 in the morning, in the middle of the night, and then they backdate it, everything matches up, so that even a hand recount.
Hey, nobody's gonna watch your movies, dude. The fucking lights are broke. They don't have no fucking money. They take handouts.
Of the actual paper, which is why I'm compelling all of you
At 1010 Blues involving Brothers, 654 East Locust, 654 East Locust.
as you possibly can. And then you have to compel your legislature to conduct a statewide audit now. And you should get a protective order over all of the machines before anybody has a chance to tamper them. Multiple videos now.
It is not available.
To get a statewide audit. Your legislature has the power to issue subpoenas just like you need the judiciary chair to write a written report, and then that gets signed by the Senate president, and they're legal and enforceable. Or you get the election law committee to introduce the subpoenas. They vote on it, then it goes to the Senate for a vote, then the Senate president signs it, and then they're legal and enforceable. So there's two paths.
The Patriots aren't gonna patronize your movie theater.
But here's the thing. Marilyn Todd told us already that the judiciary chair has absolutely no intention of doing this, which is why I think we need to give him a couple more phone calls, send him some more emails, and some more certified mail, given this new information. So I'll put all of this content in the description of this video, as well as the Senate president and the elected here. Now, guys, get this message out there to all of the
Harry Mills, case out to 2715 North, 13350 East Trail.
And it's also
Disabled subject,
this together.
unable to move, having issues with his electricity.
Live stream footage from the Wyndham, New Hampshire audit, and we start looking at things and seeing how we can match this up to what we just saw, which is why I'm calling on you guys to help out. Let's crack this case together. Let's put the pressure on the legislature, and let's show these people that we are not going to tolerate this corruption. Now, with all that being said, guys, I'm definitely going to follow up with this situation as soon as I get more information. So, leave a comment down below. Share this with everybody that you possibly can, especially if they live in New Hampshire. But anyways, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, summary report from the 2-hour live stream from last night with CanCon, Marilyn Todd, Professor Clements, Susan Settembrino, and Matt DePerno. Now, if you want to watch the full show, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. But I know a lot of you guys don't have the time. It's very important that this information gets out to as wide an audience as possible. Because the explosive evidence
You're en route to 2715 North 13350.
immediately. And if you thought we had probable cause to get a statewide audit in New Hampshire before, wait till you guys get a load of this. So Marilyn Todd was supposed to come on my show last night and give me and CanCon from our county clerk's office. And the reason why we're going to do this is because Marilyn Todd is a financial auditor who's already collected all the tapes for the state of New Hampshire and is now in the process of putting together what we're calling a citizens audit. So this effort is extremely important, and we need to get a grassroots going in all of the states throughout New England because you all have the same supplier of your machines, which is LHS. But guys, last night the tutorial video completely fell to the wayside because just 1 hour before the show, Marilyn Todd sent me a video that absolutely floored me. In fact, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I told her, but she was so frazzled, she couldn't even speak. So I called CanCon, and then he called Matt DePerno. And the reason he called Matt DePerno is because
he's wanting to meet at the JT full parking lot in the village square to be able to see him to pick up what the hazards on. He's also advising me on the video.
We had confirmation It was exactly what we thought it was. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at right now is undeniable, irrefutable, earth-shattering corruption of the highest caliber. This is the audit trail of one of the machines, and this audit trail tells us exactly what was programmed by the auditors with timestamps. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here and look at this item by item, and I want you guys to take screenshots so that you guys can analyze this for yourself. So item 27, session start at 11:46, and this was on 5/12, which was the Wednesday, the day after the audit started. And if you look at item 29, the incorrect PIN was entered. Then on item 30, session was successfully started. And I believe what we're seeing on item 31 and 32 is confirmation that we have admin level access into the machine. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it is. Now, item 33, memory card reset, which means that all of the data was cleared off of the memory card, which gets rid of all of the images and other data, which according to federal law is supposed to be reserved for 22 months. That's 52 USC 20701. And that's also in spite of the fact that Ken Eyring filed a right to know request. So they were supposed to take forensic images of
This is the ambulance. They're right on the 2715 North 13. Disabled and was complaining that he has no electricity and hasn't had for days. However, there's an alert on that residence which advising that his weapons were taken away and has had some issues with police in the past.
Then the totals report. And then session start on 11/5. Okay, so what we just saw may still be a little confusing, but what we just looked at was proof that the November 3rd election was reopened, and who knows what happened, and then it was closed and backdated. According to Matt DePerno, the only reason that anyone would reopen the election is for ballet stuffing. And we know for a fact because
just information. I'm going to have PD en route with you also on that call. We've got an alert on that call for weapons offenses, and he's had some issues with the police.
And then you can run stuff through, and then you can close it and backdate it so that everything matches up. And if you think about it, anybody can do this at like 4 in the morning, in the middle of the night, and then backdate it, everything matches up so that even a hand recount won't tell you the truth.
Beach Rock Place, 275-6493. Beach Rock Place, Black 4, Triple 1.
The truth is a kinematic scan of the actual video, which is why I'm compelling all of you people in New Hampshire and around the country to get this message out to as many people as you possibly can. And then you have to compel your legislature to conduct
overdose now. 2745 South Route 4552, the room 200. We have heroin overdose.
And let's remember, because we've talked about this in multiple videos now, it's easy to get a statewide audit. Your legislature has the power to issue subpoenas just like Arizona. You need the judiciary chair to write a written report, and then that gets signed by the Senate President, and they're legal and enforceable. Or you get the Election Law Committee to introduce the subpoenas, they vote on it, then it goes to the Senate for a vote, then the Senate President signs it, and then they're legal and enforceable. So there's two paths of doing this, which is why I think we need to give them a couple more phone calls. Or by mail, given this new information. So I'll put all of this contact information in the description of this video, as well as the Senate President and the Election Law Committee Chair. Now, guys, it's so important that we get this message out there to all of the people of New Hampshire and get a restraining order on all of the election material now. And it's also important that we start piecing this together using all the information that we have combined with the live stream footage from the Wyndham, New Hampshire audit, and we start looking at things and seeing how we can match this up to what we just saw, which is why I'm calling on you guys to help out. Let's crack this case together. Let's put the pressure on the legislature, and let's show these people that we are not going to tolerate this corruption. Now, with all that being said, guys, I'm definitely going to follow up with this situation as soon as I get more information. So click subscribe to this channel, leave a like, leave a comment down below, share this with everybody that you possibly can, especially if they live in New Hampshire. But anyways, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, this short video will be a summary report from the 2-hour live stream from last night with CanCon, Marilyn Todd, Professor Clemens, Susan Setverino, and Matt DePerno. Now, if you want to watch the full show, I'll leave a link in the description of this video, but I know a lot of you guys don't have the time, and it's very important that this information gets out to as wide an audience as possible fast. because the explosive evidence that you're about to see in this video requires action immediately. And if you thought we had probable cause to get a statewide audit in New Hampshire before, wait till you guys get a load of this. So Marilyn Todd was supposed to come on my show last night and give me and CanCon a tutorial as to how to get the tabulator tapes from our county clerk's office. And the reason we were going to do this is because Marilyn Todd is a financial auditor who's already collected all the tapes in New Hampshire and is now in the process of putting together what we're calling a citizens audit. So this effort is extremely important, and we need to get a grassroots
It was all
of the
verbal
states
at the
around
time.
New England because you all
We'll
have
be
the
back in
same
service for
supplier
16 over
of
the
the
way.
machine, which is
Go to work.
LHS. But guys, last night the tutorial video completely fell to the wayside because just 1 hour before the show, Marilyn Todd sent me an image. In fact, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I called her immediately. But she was so frazzled, she couldn't even speak. So I called CanCon, and then he called Matt DePerno. And the reason he called Matt DePerno is because he knew Matt has seen this type of thing before in Michigan. So we wanted to hear from an expert if what we were looking at was in fact legit. And guys, we had confirmation. It was exactly what we thought it was. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at right now is undeniable, irrefutable, earth-shattering corruption of the highest caliber. This is the audit trail of one of the machines, and this audit trail tells us exactly what was programmed by the auditors with timestamps. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here and look at this item by item, and I want you guys to take screenshots so that you guys can analyze this for yourself. So item 27, session start at 11:46, and this was on 5/12, which would be what? Six. And this was on 5/12, which would be Wednesday, the day after the audit started. And if you look at item 29, the incorrect PIN was entered. Then on item 30, session was successfully started. And I believe what we're seeing on item 31 and 32 is confirmation that we have admin level access into the machine. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it is. Now, item 33, memory card reset, which means that all of the data was cleared off of the memory card.
Emails 205 turnover from Riverside Bradley, emails to Fairview Hotel, 2745 South Route 4552, room 200 turnover, C's unseen. Emails 205 turnover from Riverside Bradley, contact to Fairview Hotel, 2745 South Route 4552, room 200 turnover, C's unseen, 1003,
Now, let's jump down to item 37, which is
and what's been given, please fill down.
3, which tells us that the November 3rd election was actually reopened. Then on item 39, ballot count and the totals report. And then session start on 11/5. What we just saw may still be a little confusing, but what we just looked at was proof that the November 3rd election was reopened. And who knows what happened. According to Matt DePerno, the only logical reason that anyone would reopen the election is for ballet stuffing. And we know for a fact, because it was discovered in Hampshire County, Michigan's lawsuit, that there's a fatal flaw with which allows the election to be reopened, and then you can run stuff through, and then you can close it and backdate it so that everything matches up. And if you think about it, anybody can do this at like 4 in the morning, in the middle of the night, and then they backdate it, everything matches up, so that even a hand recount won't tell you the truth. Hand recounts are a total joke knowing this piece of information. The only thing that could possibly tell you the truth is a kinematic scan of the actual paper, which is why I'm telling all the people in New Hampshire and around the country to get this message out to as many people as you possibly can. And then you have to compel the legislature to conduct a statewide audit now. And you should get a protective order over all of the machines before anybody has a chance to tamper with them. And let's remember, because we've talked about this in multiple videos now, it's easy to get a statewide audit. Your legislature has the power to issue subpoenas just like Arizona. You need the judiciary chair to write a written report, and then that gets signed by the Senate president, and they're legal and enforceable. Or you get the election law committee to introduce the subpoena vote on it, then it goes to the Senate for a vote, then the Senate president signs it, and then they're legal and enforceable.
2
So there's
and
two
5/4 votes to put together in the top 10.
judiciary chair. But here's the thing, Marilyn Todd told us already that the judiciary chair has absolutely no intention of doing this, which is why I think we need to give him a couple more phone calls, send him some more emails, and some more certified mail, given this new information. So I'll put all of his contact information in the description of this video, as well as the Senate president and the election law committee.
I believe he is breathing off the door.
Get a restraining order on all the election material now, and it's also important that we start piecing this together using all the information that we have, combined with the live stream footage from the Wyndham, New Hampshire audit, and we start looking at things and seeing how we can match this up to what we just saw, which is why I'm calling on you guys to help out. Let's crack this case together. Let's put the pressure on the legislature, and let's show these people that we are not going to tolerate this corruption. Now, with all that being said, guys, I'm definitely going to follow up with this situation as soon as I get more information. So click subscribe to this channel, leave a like, leave a comment down below.
Here's a Ralph Williams. A 19 references on being hacked.
That's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, this short video will be a summary report from the 2-hour live stream from last night with CanCon, Marilyn Todd, Professor Clements, Susan Shapiro, and Matt DePerno. Now, if you want to watch the full show, I'll leave a link in the description of this video, but I know a lot of you guys don't have the time, and it's very important that this information gets out to as wide an audience as possible fast, because the explosive evidence that you're about to see in this video requires action immediately, and if you thought had probable cause to get a statewide audit in New Hampshire before, wait till you guys get a load of this. So Marilyn Todd was supposed to come on my show last night and give me and CanCon a tutorial as to how to get the calculator case from our county clerk's office. And the reason we were going to do this is because Marilyn Todd is a financial auditor who's already collected all the tax for the state of New Hampshire and is now in the process of putting together what we're calling a citizen's audit. So this effort is extremely important, and we need to get a conference going in all of the states throughout New England, because you all have the same supplier of your machines, which is LHS. But guys, last night the tutorial video completely fell to the wayside because just 1 hour before the show, Marilyn Todd sent me an image that's absolutely glorious. In fact, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I called her immediately. But she was so frazzled, she couldn't even speak. So I called CanCon, and then he called Matt DePerno. And the reason he called Matt DePerno is because he knew Matt has seen this type of thing before in Michigan. That was in fact legit. And guys, we had confirmation. It was exactly what we thought it was. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at right now is undeniable, irrefutable, earth-shattering corruption of the highest caliber. This is the audit trail of one of the machines, and this audit trail tells us exactly what was programmed by the auditors with timestamps. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here and look at this item by item. And I want you guys to take screenshots so that you guys can analyze this for yourself. So item 27, session start at 11:46, and this was on 5/12, which would be Wednesday, the day after the audit started. And if you look at item 29, the incorrect PIN was entered. Then on item 30, session was successfully started. And I believe what we're seeing on item 30 and 32 is confirmation.
This information made by they do have a policy from starting home.
I could be wrong, but that's what I think it is. Which means that all of the data was cleared off of the memory card, which gets rid of all of the images and other data, which according to federal law is supposed to be preserved for 22 months. That's 52 USC 20701. And that's also in spite of the fact that Ken Eyring filed a right-to-know request. So they were supposed to take forensic images of the state of the memory cards before they were cleared, and they were not allowed to do it. Now, let's jump down to item 37, which is session start on 11/3, which tells us that the November 3rd election was actually reopened. Then on item 39, ballot count starts. Item 42, ballot count ends. And the totals report. And then session start on 11/5. Okay, so what we just saw may still be a little confusing, but what we just looked at was proof that the November 3rd election was reopened. And who knows what happened, and then it was that date. According to
County
that,
Place
the
34 available.
the only logical reason that anyone would reopen the election is for ballet stuffing. And we know for a fact, because it was discovered in Antrim County, Michigan lawsuit, that there's a fatal flaw within the source code of it. And then you can run stuff through, and then you can close it and backdate it so that everything matches up. And if you think about it, anybody can do this at like 4 in the morning, in the middle of the night, and then they backdate it, everything matches up, so that even a hand recount won't tell you the truth. Hand recounts are a total joke, knowing this piece of
Where you're getting in around here, you're doing 745, stop at 4552, room 200.
Of the actual papers, which is why I'm compelling all of you people in New Hampshire and around the country to get this message out to as many people as you possibly can. And then you have to compel your legislature to conduct a statewide audit now. And you should get a protective order over all of the machines before anybody has a chance to tamper with them. And let's remember, because we've talked about this in multiple videos now, it's easy to get a statewide audit. Your legislature has the power to issue subpoenas just like Arizona. You need the judiciary chair to write a written report, and then that gets signed by the Senate president, and they're legal and enforceable. Or the election law committee to introduce the subpoenas. They vote on it, then it goes to the Senate for a vote, then the Senate president signs it, and then they're legal and enforceable. So there's two paths to victory, but the quickest one is the judiciary chair. But here's the thing, Marilyn Todd told us already that the judiciary chair has absolutely no intention of doing this, which is why I think we need to give him a couple more phone calls, send him some more emails, and some more certified mail, given this new information. So I'll put all of his contact information in the description of this video, as well as the Senate president and the election law committee chair. Now, guys, it's so important that we get this message out there to all of the people of New Hampshire and get a restraining order on all of the election material now. And it's also important that we start piecing this together using all the information that we have, combined with the live stream footage from the Wyndham, New Hampshire audit, and we start looking at things and seeing how we can match this up to what we just saw, which is why I'm calling on you guys to help out. Let's crack this case together. Let's put the pressure on the legislature, and let's show these people that we are not going to tolerate this corruption. Now, with all that being said, guys, I'm definitely going to follow up with this situation as soon as I get more information. So click subscribe to this channel, leave a like, leave a comment down below, especially if you live in New Hampshire. But anyways, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, this short video will be a summary report from the 2-hour live stream from last night with CanCon, Marilyn Todd, Professor Clements, Susan Citarino, and Matt DeFerno. Now, if you want to watch the full show, I'll leave a link in the description of this video, but I know a lot of you guys don't have the time, and it's very important that this information gets out to as wide an audience as possible fast. Because the explosive evidence that you're about to see in this video requires action immediately. And if you thought we had probable cause to get a statewide audit in New Hampshire before, wait till you guys get a load of this. So Marilyn Todd was supposed to come on my show last night and give me and CanCon a tutorial as to how to get the tabulator tapes from our county clerk's office. And the reason we were going to do this is because Marilyn Todd is a financial auditor who's already collected all the tapes for the state of New Hampshire and is now in the process of putting together what we're calling a citizens audit. So this effort is extremely important, and we need to get a grassroots going in all of the states throughout New England because you all have the same supplier of your machines, which is LHS. But guys, last night the tutorial video completely fell to the wayside because just 1 hour before the show, Marilyn Todd sent me an image that absolutely floored me. In fact, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I called her immediately. But she was so frazzled, she couldn't speak. So I called CanCon, and then he called Matt DeFerno. And the reason he called Matt DeFerno is because he knew Matt has seen this type of thing before in Michigan. So we wanted to hear from an expert if what we were looking at was in fact legit. And guys, we had confirmation. It was exactly what we thought it was. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at right now is undeniable, irrefutable, earth-shattering corruption of the highest caliber. This is the audit trail of one of the machines, and this audit trail tells us exactly what was programmed by the auditors with timestamps. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here and look at this item by item. And I want you guys to take screenshots so that you guys can analyze this for yourself. So item 27, sessions start at 11:46, and this was on 5/12, which would be Wednesday, the day after the audit started. And if you look at it was entered. Then on item 30, session was successfully started. And I believe what we're seeing on item 31 and 32 is confirmation that we have admin level access to the machine. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it is. Now, item 33, memory card reset. Which means that all of the data was cleared off of the memory card, which gets rid of all of the images and other data, which according to federal law is supposed to be preserved for 22 months. That's 52 USC 20701. And that's also that Ken Iron filed a right to know request. So they were supposed to take forensic images
over here, we're going to be transferring this in there.
before they were sued, and they were not allowed to do this. Now, let's jump down to item 37, which is session start on 11/3, which tells us that the November 3rd election was actually reopened. Then on item 39, ballot count start. Item 42, ballot count end. Then the totals report, and then session start on 11/5. Okay, so what we just saw may still be a little confusing, but what we just looked at was proof that the November 3rd election was reopened, and who knows what happened, and then it was closed and backdated. According to Matt DePerno, the only logical reason that anyone would reopen the election is for ballet stuffing, and we know for a fact because it was discovered in Antrim County, Michigan's lawsuit, that there's a fatal flaw within the source code of the machines, which allows the election to be reopened, and then you can run stuff through, and then you can close it and backdate it so that everything matches up. And if you think about it, anybody can do this at like 4 in the morning, in the middle of the night, and then they backdate it, everything matches up, so that even a hand recount won't tell you the truth. Hand recounts are a total joke knowing this piece of information. The only thing in New Hampshire and around the country to get this message out to as many people as you possibly can. And then you have to compel your legislature to conduct a statewide audit now. And you should get a protective order over all of the machines before anything. Because we talked about this in multiple videos now. It's easy to get a statewide audit. Your legislature has the power to issue subpoenas just like your own. You need the judiciary chair to write a written report, and then that gets signed by the Senate president, and they're legal and enforceable. Or you get the election law committee to introduce the subpoenas. They vote on it, then it goes to the Senate for a vote, then the Senate president signs it, and then they're legal.
The female Clear Valley Country driver's license, the male 10-0 parole, MSR custody, 27 suspended, 29 cleared.
The judiciary chair has absolutely no intention of doing this, which is why I think we need to give him a couple more phone calls, send him some more emails, and some more certified mail, given this new information. So I'll put all of his contact information in the description of this video, as well as the Senate president and the election law committee chair. Now, guys, it's so important that we get this message out there to all of the people of New Hampshire and get a restraining order on all the electoral now. And it's also important that we start piecing this together using all the information that we have, combined with the live stream footage from the Wyndham, New Hampshire audit, and we start looking at things and seeing how we can match this up to what we just saw, which is why I'm calling on you guys to help out. Let's crack this case together. Let's put the pressure on the legislature, and let's show these people that we are not going to tolerate this corruption. Now, with all that being said, guys, I'm definitely going to follow up with this situation as soon as I get more information. So click subscribe to this channel, leave a like, leave a comment down below, share this with everybody that you possibly can, especially if you live in New Hampshire. But anyways, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, this short video will be a summary report from the 2-hour live stream from last night with CanCon, Marilyn Todd, Professor Clement, Susan Silverino, and Matt DePerno. Now, if you want to watch the full show, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. But I know a lot of you guys don't have the time, and it's very important that this information gets out to as wide an audience as possible fast. Because the explosive evidence that you're about to see in this video requires action immediately. And if you thought we had probable cause, wait till you guys get a load of this. So Marilyn Todd was supposed to come on my show last night and give me and CanCon a tutorial as to how to get the tabulator tapes from our
11, 103 more.
We're going to do this is